What's up, everybody? Oh my God, that's how well we're going tonight. What's up, everybody? Paul here from the Hoops crew, and that was a pretty ugly mess of a game for the Cats. We got belted by 30 points. I say belted because really it should have been a lot worse. 30 scoring shots to 15, and we're here to get into post-game therapy tonight. Of course, as always, you can see the QR in the corner there, and undoubtedly the link will be available in the chat at different stages as well. In fact, I'll quickly drop that right now for people to jump in and discuss the 13-17-95 to 10-5-65 loss for the Cats. That, like I said, should have been a hell of a lot worse. The link is there. Jump in, but we're going to kick things off with my fellow Hoops crew member, Ben Reeve. How's things, mate?
Good. Do I need to? This is going really well. Hang on. Could I go a little bit higher up here? Hang on.
The camera.
Oh God, there we go.
Your chair.
Shit. Man. Look, you can't win them all, and we didn't have it tonight, Paul. We did not have it.
Yeah, go on.
It's just yeah. We were lacking something. The
first couple
of minutes we're absolutely on fire. Everything we touched turned to gold. And I'm thinking, I've seen this before. The Cats start great, and then somehow it completely flips to everything that could go wrong does go wrong. I'm not going to come on tonight and have a really big whinge about the Catters because this happens.
There's plenty of people to come on, and they'll undoubtedly do that for us, and I'll have my reaction videos. So there's plenty of negativity to go around. So
exactly. But look, these things happen.
Can you think of a positive from the night, though?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Oh, okay. What's that? Because
look,
I can't think of it.
I was trying the whole night. I was trying to think of the positives. Think of our good mate Jake from the Chaps. Think of what would he be thinking right now?
I mean, Bailey Smith, I think, still played another solid game. He was one that just kind of continued to try and will us into it. But I think he was almost on his own outside of that. Maybe Tanner Bruin as well.
Geez, you're critical tonight, aren't you? I'm going to try and bring a bit more positivity because I don't want. I mean, there'll be a few people that'll come on tonight that'll go hard at the Catters, and they probably do need to go. We do need to go a little bit hard at them, but I thought Shannon Neal, considering what he had to do, I thought he had a crack.
No, that's fair. No, actually, no, I'll give you that.
Obviously, that's not the role we wanted him to play tonight. Obviously, unfortunately, Sam DeConning was a late out or an early out.
He was managed. So
out, and Brad was always playing, but Blitzarv's going down with a knee amputation early, didn't help. And then Mitch Edwards just broke every bone in his body basically after that.
He got bashed up a bit, did the young bloke.
He sure did.
Meanwhile, the ruckman on the other side especially Jordan Sweet, probably had the best game of his life tonight. So
yeah, which often happens, doesn't it? But yeah, look.
I think the thing for me is that I mean, we could sit here and wade into the stats and those sort of things, and they paint a horrific story, but it didn't look like we were there mentally and ready to play. Sometimes you're on the effort is there, but the connectivity is not. Tonight, I feel like both were missing. I don't feel like the connection was right, and I think that resulted in some really poor disposal at different points. But also on top of that, just the intensity wasn't where it needed to be, and it's never an official stat that we get here, courtesy of the champion data and those sort of things. But Fox Footy were having their pressure ratings and those sort of things, and it was in the 160s at different points, and that's very low, and that was kind of a bit of a pattern throughout, and it kind of matched up with the eye test. Simon's actually just jumped in the chat here and said that it felt worse than the Gold Coast loss. It kind of did in a way.
Sort of, yeah. There's just a lot. I mean, just when you see games like that where there's really low energy, the players come out and they just don't have it. They don't seem to be bringing the same pressure that they bring a previous week. That the contrast from week to week is so obvious. It just was completely opposite to the other game we played against the Doggies, who were considered at that point in time a pretty good opposition. They're clearly going to struggle moving forward, but we just didn't have it. And you talked about connection, Paul. I think that's what happens when you're looking a bit sluggish. Your disposals aren't there. Your confidence goes as soon as you start missing targets, and everything just fell apart. It was an absolute dog's breakfast, and we were sitting there thinking, I reckon we could count about 100, I'll say moments. I won't say disposals or decisions or whatever. There was 100 moments easily where you're thinking, oh, we've just stuffed it up again, or it's bounced the wrong way again. Oh my God, we've made the wrong decision again. It's like over and over and over. It was just one of those nights. And I don't feel like it'll be the same next week or the week after. I feel like these are just some of the games you have every now and then, but I would have been much better if we were 5-2. We'd be feeling a lot more confident about how the season's going. But all of a sudden, you're looking at a 4-3, and it's like, oh, okay, maybe we are somewhere around the.
Here we go.
The middle of the pack somewhere.
What's that phrase? What's that phrase that you've used previously?
I've never used a phrase, but no, I'd say Geelong's probably one of those teams somewhere, not in the top echelon and not a bit in the bottom, somewhere else. Around the centre.
As much as I'm feeling pretty negative about tonight, I'm not going to jump into that sort of line of thinking, because I just think it was just a nightmarish sort of night. Nothing really worked. The tag didn't work. I wish Gary was in the chat right now, because I'd love to use this as an opportunity to say, we absolutely need Zach Butters, Gary. What the fuck are you talking about?
Get Butters in. You find, I was at the start of the game, I'm like, oh, Butters, every time Butters, Butters, be nice to Butters, do this. And then as the game goes on and we're getting smashed, it's like, fuck you, Butters. You're never coming to Geelong. We don't want you. Piss off. But I'll get over it and I'll move on.
Roaming's just slugged you with your middling comment.
I never said that. I did not say that. So that is not a word.
There's definitely no video archive history of that whatsoever.
No,
Ben's gone and edited it out of every clip and every stream that we posted of that.
Not at all. I do need to talk about one player though, and I'm not going to pick on him, but I'm going to point it out because it's going to be obvious, and others will as well. And you've said this in the past too, Paul. What are we doing with Patrick Dangerfield? Not having a crack at Paddy Dangerfield, but if he's not a midfielder, what's going on? Because it's not working.
I think we needed to be, in a case like tonight, as a forward, he was let down by what was going on up the ground. The disposal inside 50 was poor. The disposal specifically from kind of half back into the midfield was poor, so it resulted in a lot of turnovers. So he wasn't getting a huge amount of opportunity to begin with. And I liked the fight from Danger in that last quarter. Like, you could see him, okay, I've had very limited opportunities and we need to pull something out here. I'm the captain. Let me step up to the plate and do it. But I also would argue, bring that attitude, but from the midfield. Do it from the midfield.
Exactly.
Chris Scott, move the magnet, put him in the midfield. That's... you're right. That has been kind of a beat of mine that I've been kind of coming back to over and over for the last 2 years now. And I just think, like, play him off the bench and through the mid, and then send him into the midfield. Like, it's, I don't think this is overly complicated logic. The club has done it before with Joel Selwood, and it worked pretty well. And I'm not even talking about the premiership at the end of it. I just mean game to game. Like, he would come on for, it was often 50 to 55% game time through the midfield, and it was the Joel Selwood of old. He doesn't have that same explosive speed that Danger, or didn't have that same explosive speed that Danger has, but I think they're both pretty similar when it comes to the aggression towards the ball and the willingness to bury themselves at the bottom of the pack and just utilize that, especially when the other midfielders tonight can't get their hands on it.
No. I mean, Bailey got 30 touches, whatever. But look, we could be sitting here in a week from now, Paul, on PostGame Live and just raving about how good Danger was against Kangaroos, kicked 4 goals, had 25 touches, was amazing. But I feel like I'm completely in agreement with you at the moment. I think you want to play him as a forward every now and then, but not all the time. I think if you're going to play him from the bench and give him 40% of game time if you have to. I'll live with that. Obviously, I don't know if that's the way. I've never seen a team do that with a player, but maybe that's at this point. If we're going to insist on playing Danger, And maybe this game's a one-off. Maybe it is. I'll concede that.
I think the actual net outcome and like kind of how things work tonight, I think we can largely. You don't want to completely ignore it. I think as a club, they're going to have to debrief and reflect quite a lot. But
looking at the chat there, Paul,
it's a bit of an aberration.
I'm going to highlight it.
Oh,
yeah.
Tyson Stengel's in the rooms with the team. That's good to see.
Yeah, that is positive. I wasn't sure if we'd see him at the game tonight, but I'm glad he's connected with.
I'm sure he probably did what he could to remain kind of out of the limelight and off camera wherever he could. So
yeah, of course.
And look, obviously he wouldn't have made, like, setting everything aside, he wouldn't have made the difference tonight either. As much as Sam De Koning would have been incredibly useful to have, given that Georgiades had 10 shots on goal. And we're very lucky to not get belted because he kicked 4 goals, 6 at the end of the day. It might have blunted a few things early on. It probably might have helped a little bit with some of the connectivity. It might have helped a little bit with some of that defensive work that was pretty lacking. Do I go after Jack Henry yet? Is it too soon for me to go after Jack Henry?
Save it for a little bit. Keep your powder dry on Jack Henry.
I'll foreskin.
Yeah, I know. We'll come to Jack shortly. Yeah, look, I won't linger on Paddy Dangerfield for too long. I don't think, but
thank you, Heidi, for shouting that out too. By the way,
yeah, no, thanks, Heidi. I guess I'm glad Stingers is connected with the club, and if that whatever happens this year happens, but that's a positive sign at least in the right direction. So, I guess probably I'll shout out a couple of other players. I thought Guthrie did his best considering the amount of ball that was coming his way. He tried. Obviously, he wasn't perfect, but I thought he was giving it a crack all night.
Yep.
Jack Bowes was equally frustrating and equally thrilling. He took the game on. He had a real crack all night long, but he made so many mistakes as well. He's driving me crazy, but he was playing with the right attitude, which I guess is what you can really hope for. So. Yeah, look, it's going to be a tough one to swallow, this one. Thankfully, it's kind of, we're not in dire straits. It's not season-ending stuff necessarily.
No.
We're not 2-5. It's nothing like that. It's a game. Yes,
this is the Carlton game from last year. Exactly. Sorry, we've still got to play Carlton, so let's.
It's a game we should have won, but it's also a game that wasn't out of the realms of possibility that we would actually lose it. It does happen. Jed is needed, yeah. A question for you, Paul, actually. Who, and maybe you will say Jed, but who from the players that weren't playing tonight may have made a difference? I mean, for me, obviously.
Oh, no, Sam De Koning. Sam De Koning's the obvious one. Their number one key forward in the first half had more than half of their shots on goal. Now, it didn't all, most of them didn't work out for him, especially in the first half, but he gave them a focal point. He brought the ball down. Some of the smalls got involved off the back of it. He was clunking everything. I think he got their tails up, if nothing else. So Sam De Koning was the biggest loss for us tonight. And obviously Blitzar was going down during the game, probably second. But I think we really missed SDK tonight because he's the perfect matchup for that bloke. And setting aside my jokes about Jack Henry and foreskin and all those sort of things, he could have put his absolute best foot forward tonight, and it still would have been a really challenging matchup for him because he's outpointed for reach. I think probably athletically he's not quite up to Georgiades as well. So Sam De Koning is the better matchup there. I'm surprised we didn't swing Sully onto him, and obviously in the end it became Tom Stewart towards the end of the game, and it was somewhat effective, but the game was already cooked. So
Sully finished the game well. I mean, he wasn't terrific early, but yeah, he definitely tried right to the end, I guess, at least. And I mean, it's probably in some ways the defenders, when it's coming in that much, they're in the game a lot more, aren't they? So you're probably going to start them a lot more. And the opposite's true for someone like a Dangerfield we spoke about earlier. If it doesn't get down there a hell of a lot. I mean, Jezza still did pretty well considering the ball hardly got down his way. They still kicked 3 goals and to have a chance at 4 at the end. I don't know. I think Danger at the end in that last few minutes, Danger tried to get it to him, and Jezza's just sort of waiting for the ball to trickle his way. Like, Jez, you got to come at it, mate. Come at it. I know you cooked it. I know you got nothing left in the legs, but because but you got to come at those ones a little bit, mate. But
nothing was working.
Here's the one: Kolodjasny or Jack Henry. Let's go with Jack. Let's start the Jack Henry conversation because this is going to dominate post game live tonight. I think Collar or Jack Henry.
Collar, based on that.
One game back. We're going back with Collar. That's how it is. I don't know. Until Collar plays and then puts in a sticker.
He would have bodied up. Jack tried to play off him too many times, and then, like I said, got outpointed for the athleticism or the height and those sorts of things. If he sat on his shoulder, I'm not going to say he necessarily would have come close to breaking even, but I think he would have been more effective playing the game that way than he was tonight. I won't, and actually, it's probably about the only comment I threw in the Discord tonight, and I was kind of multitasking while watching the game. My criticism of Jack tonight was the way he played it, and maybe even the matchup as opposed to effort. I felt like his effort was there. He made some bad decisions. He got outpointed on a few occasions. I don't think So my usual foreskin joke that I throw at him when things get hard, he disappears. That doesn't apply here. I don't think. Like he had a go. He just was shit. Like a fair few blokes were tonight. And
he nearly gave away a 50-metre penalty. He's very lucky. Very lucky, Jackie boy, to not give away the 50. Look, everyone on the team tonight. I mean, probably can excuse Blitzards because he went down early.
We can't. Yeah,
it's not like he butchered 6 kicks or anything, but everyone butchered the footy at some stage tonight, or made a decision, or missed a tackle, or whatever. One of the only positives, really, from a team point of view, was just we barely missed from a set shot. I don't think we did miss a set shot tonight. 7 straight, I think it was at one point.
Okay.
Couple ones that were rushed, and a couple others that were missed in general play. But no, it was pretty accurate in terms of the scoreboard, which will probably tell a story when we see the expected scores tomorrow morning, that Port Adelaide probably should have won this by a hell of a lot more, because they missed a stack and we probably kicked a few that we maybe wouldn't normally kick. Danger's done, says Photos.
Sorry, Photos of Dodos. I don't know if you've only just jumped in. We were just talking about that one before. No, I just think we need to use him right. I just think the forward line is the wrong part of the ground to base him out of.
Come on for a chat, Photos.
Jump in.
Come on,
links there, the QR codes at the top. You and anyone else. Ethan's in the background, ready to go next. Anyone else? Yeah, and I see Love God 8582.
Love God.
Let's go with Love God. That sounds better than Love God. just the pause.
Coming back, I've seen Python darts a little bit, but last few weeks. Yeah,
Port was shit, but we were shitter. Anyone there, please. The QR code's in the corner. The link is going back into the chat right now, unless I've copied it. Yep, there it is. Use it. Jump in.
I'll pin it while you're. Yeah, I'll figure out a way to pin that anyway. Where to from here, Paul? I mean, obviously you're going to go into next week feeling confident against North. I mean, most of us will be. I doubt any Geelong supporters would be expecting to lose next week.
Yeah, I think there's still reason to feel like we should win, but at the same time, I think there's a little bit of soul searching that needs to be done, just in terms of the intensity and effort thing. And this was a bit like the Gold Coast game, but I think they might have been able to sit back and go, yeah, okay, but it was round 0. We were probably a little bit undercooked. They could probably justify a range of other excuses. And I think from memory, there was a little bit of a, we're not going to review the footage. We're just going to move on sort of attitude.
Yep.
This probably a bit like that Carlton game from last year. This is one you can't kind of avoid. This is a team that even if you're a little bit off, you should have still won. But nothing clicked. The intensity wasn't there. Yeah.
Should do.
But I mean, Quite Strength Studio says North is no easy win, especially after what we saw today. Obviously, on the Geelong side, yes, I would agree. On the North side, I'm going to double down on what I said the other day in the Paul James show, is that North Melbourne have beaten nobody of any relevance. And I know one of the teams they've beaten is, of course, the team that just rolled us tonight. But
yeah, well, whatever.
But I think we're all pretty unanimous in our thinking around tonight as well. So North Melbourne have beaten Port Adelaide, who, setting everything aside tonight, will probably be a bottom 6 team. They lost to West Coast. They beat Essendon when Essendon were I suppose Essendon are back to that shit again. They beat them by 12 points. They beat Carlton by 10 points. They put up a decent fight against a very depleted Brisbane at the time, lost by 26 there. They bashed up on Richmond. They've beaten no one.
I'm clipping this. I'm clipping
Please,
it.
no,
I'm sharing it with our kangaroo podcast.
I know you were sitting there, lapping up every comment that I made there, but like they've beaten no one yet, so their ladder position I don't think reflects.
No, they're
necessarily
rubbish.
The quality or just where they're at developmentally, right? Like they're chock full of talent, but they need more time. But you could also say the same thing about about Port Adelaide, right? There's plenty, I would say not as much, but there's plenty of talent there. And if you give them a sniff, you give them a chance, you're off your game. You don't bring the effort, look what happens. So,
yep. Yeah, you're made to look
so
stupid.
as much as I think as much as we should go in confident, and as much as I don't really rate North Melbourne yet, if we rock up with the same sort of effort that we did tonight, then I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing happens again.
Pretty rare consider ourselves to be a good team. Pretty rare to rock up and put in intensity like that 2 weeks in a row. Geelong will come out. I mean, we definitely need Gryan back. Yeah. I never said it. Gryan coming back. I was going to say, Paul, we haven't lost, and this could be jinxing it. Maybe this is going to jinx it.
No.
Knock on wood. We haven't lost to North Melbourne in 14 matchups. Going back, I don't know how many years now.
Was it you that was putting stuff in the Discord about having not lost in Adelaide in a while and average margins of 83 points and all these sorts of things?
Wins in a row against in Adelaide at Adelaide Oval.
I don't understand. I'm leaning into some theatrics now. I don't understand what is going on in your head.
I don't know.
Between the days since Hawthorn beat us, channel in the Discord that I then deleted during that episode of Nuff, to these sorts of comments, you're unhinged, mate. You're sabotaging this team.
If you're part of the Discord, links in the chat, everyone, if you want to be part of the Discord. But if you're part of that, expect to see days since North beat Geelong tomorrow morning. We're getting right, but we're doubling down, Paul. We're doubling down.
There's no we here. It's just you. And the phone calls need to come from the club to you.
All for one and one for all.
Or you out on your bullshit.
All for one and one for all.
You can go rogue here.
No. No. Look, North is a team on the grow.
They are. No, for sure.
On the improve, and they'll make it a red hot game. I think this will be a good game for all fans, Cats, North fans, and neutrals to get along to watch. And I hope it's a close game. I really do. I hope North give it a good shake, but I doubt North will come out on top. And I think most neutrals would say that too. So maybe it comes off as a bit arrogant. Can the Discord model please block? Yes, probably that should do. Get onto that. Ben Harris, block him. Sorry, not Ben Harris. Are you jumping on tonight, Ben Harris? We've got Ethan in the chat, Ethan in the green room as well. Sorry, Paul.
I'm going to guess just before we let Ethan loose on the call, I'm going to wager that when I click on his layout here, that you still haven't fixed the.
I can update it in the background. Well, when he comes on, I'll refresh it, and then you can.
Okay, so while we're in there, you might just ping it while we're there. That'll be a nice, revelatory, exciting moment midway through what could be. I don't know. We'll see how Ethan's feeling. Could be a nice negative conversation between the two of us about the Cats' performance tonight.
I might come up with something different anyway.
Okay.
There he is. Beautiful. Got him. Look, I know we often move on from a loss or a win pretty quickly and start looking ahead to next week. But I don't know. I think this one's not going to sit with me too long, this game. I think it's just one of those ones that we had to lose. And not had to, but I don't know if anyone could have predicted it. Maybe the coaches know. Coaches actually look shocked tonight. A couple of times that they showed them on the tally. They didn't. It's like, what the hell?
They just looked a bit dumbfounded. Yeah, they didn't. Yeah. They didn't look like they had any idea how or why it was happening.
Yeah, exactly right. I don't know. The umpiring was fine. There's obviously some dumb decisions. The ball bastard who hates Geelong, can't remember his name, but what's his name? Anyway, the one that didn't pay the mark to Jeremy Cameron in the Sydney game all those years back. It wasn't 15 metres apparently. He hates us for sure. But whatever. Whatever. He's a bastard. Anyway, I'll let you get Ethan on. I'm going to go and sook it up in my own.
Fix up his graphic while he's.
I'll fix it up first. I'll fix it up while you're on the call with Ethan, and And then I won't be watching a replay of this one. This one won't be ordered on DVD. This will be buried. This will be burnt, and we'll move on pretty quickly. And the one good thing to look forward to is Carlton losing a heartbreaker again tonight. Hopefully they put in a good fight.
It's only half time.
What's the score actually?
8-4-52 Freo to 6-5-41 Carlton at halftime. So
Perfect.
I mean, Carlton tend to get a lead and then lose it. So the fact that they're losing already means that this is probably going to be a 60-point loss.
No, they're finding new ways to break the heart of Blues fans. This is what we want. So
it was to their credit, it was just starting to creep out. It got to 20 points. They kicked a couple consecutive goals. Mason Cox got one late. They're giving it a crack.
Good stuff.
But before you leave, because Shadoo's just asked the question here.
Yep.
Is there a single person? So I'm asking this question specifically of you. Is there a person who thinks we don't need Butters?
Oh, we absolutely need Butters.
Cripper's injured too, apparently.
Oh, wow. Okay. Look, I mean, if there's a good player available that wants to come, you're going to snap him up. I don't know what Butters, if we're going to pay Butters $2 million or...
No, it'll be like 1.6.
1.3.
We won't absolutely break the bank. But as we've discussed I think it probably came up in Postgame Live, but certainly the Paul James show. Joey Montagna did a great job of kind of speaking to it a few weeks back for Triple M, where he was talking about like $2 million is the equivalent to what the Nick Rewalts and Matthew Pavliches and Chris Judds and Gary Juniors were on in that. They commit these absolute top shelf players, or the ones that are getting paid like it anyway, commanding like it's about 10% of the salary cap, and that is proportionate to what it used to be. So we see 2 million and we get spooked, but it's not, technically speaking, the outrageous sum that.
No, it's a good
at face value it appears.
It's a lot of money, though. I mean, it's a percentage of the cap. I can't remember. Is the cap 8.5 mil or something like that now? I can't remember.
No, it can't be that. No, it won't be that low, because 2 million is only. It's going to be closer to 20, because that
15 million, 15.79 million per club. So what's 2 million?
2 million is a bit over 10%.
Yeah. 13%, something like that of the total cap. When you've got 40 to 45 players on your list, and most of those guys aren't going to get paid a hell of a lot. I mean, there was blokes like Tom Atkins and Brad Close that were starring for the Cats for years, and they weren't getting paid. They were still being paid as rookies. So, Anyway, well, you have a great night, Paul, on Postgame Live. I'm sure this is going to be a fun one after a horrible game.
Will do.
That's the price you pay, mate, for running Postgame Live. Sometimes it's good fun when you win. And
mate, I do these therapy sessions better than you, because typically you end up in tears at the end of the stream. We've got the archive still.
We do, but we've burnt that one too. Can you burn digital shit?
I hold it together and end up getting drunk with the the various guests, and then we start talking about Horatio's curtains, and which is good to see Horatio back in the chat too, by the way.
Yes, get on
Horatio's curtains, or
we need the curtains back.
We can flash back. We can flash back to to Lucas taking shirts off, and just all sorts of stupid things that would go on. Like that's what happens late. These sorts of these ridiculous antics. So
it's going to be 2 hours. You got 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes to get to midnight tonight.
I'm not pushing for midnight.
Not after a show like this. I'm going to. There's a Johnny, different John. I'm going to reach out to him as well, see if he will come on. And
send
Kerry's
people over.
Probably at the game still. You might get it. I might reach out to him, see if I can get him on too. But anyway, I've chatted long enough. Get Ethan on. I'll say goodnight. We'll be back next week, Cats fans. The Cats will be back, and we'll be winning against North by 120 points. And don't worry, Jezza will kick another 11 goals.
All right, mate. Thanks a lot. Fix that background. Mate. I'll see you later.
See you, mate.
All right. Let's get Ethan in.
Hey,
mate. How you doing?
Considering we just got our asses handed to us, but by what looked like a bottom six side, not great.
Yeah.
Maybe Port have turned a corner with the last couple weeks. If they go out and show me something during Showdown or against the Dogs the week after, I'll feel a lot better about
about what just happened.
Like, we suck tonight regardless, but I'd rather we suck against a competitive side than a bottom 6 one. But we have some like glaring fundamental issues that need to be fixed. So let's start with the positives, actually, because it's easy to find.
Because it's easy to wallow in the negatives for sure.
Let's go through the very few positives. Jezza nails set shots, especially against Port. Remember, he had that crazy barrel against him a few years ago. Jack Martin, good effort, played hard. Had to stand in the ruck a couple times,
which is wild, and didn't do too bad of a job considering.
Yeah. Brad Close and Ollie Henry got in there and made effort plays. Did they make good plays? Not necessarily, but you can't knock their effort. Ollie had one where he passed up an open danger. It probably wouldn't have been 15 going to him, but should have gone for him instead of Jezza in that case.
Yep.
And I will say this about Jack Henry. For as bad as his first half was, he stuck with it, and he played hard, and he saw out the game and actually had a half decent third and fourth quarter. I will give him that.
Who was he matched up on though through that? Because I feel like the magnets had been shuffled. I don't think he was squaring up against Georgiades. He's pretty much through the last quarter. I don't know if that extended into the third as well.
It was some their rucks punished us, which should not happen. Like Jordan Sweet and Dante Vicentini. Yeah. I mean, Sweet, when he hit a shot in the first quarter, it was like, really? He's hitting this? And then you start to worry a little.
That check side. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, and then even though he missed one after that, it was still like he had a good game. He played way better than usual.
It might have been a career game for him.
Yeah, I think it was. And again, if they go and keep playing like this, instead of, losing by 50 to North and losing to West Coast, I'll feel okay about this. But we have a giant problem in our midfield. The fact is, outside of Bailey Smith, we don't have anyone who's really able to cut it against prime competition. And we faced a couple of prime midfielders tonight. And guys...
Yeah, Butters and Horn Francis in particular.
Yep. This happened against the Suns, round 0. I'm surprised.
But even and also, sorry to that, like I'd also bundle Ollie Wines in there. I know he's not the player he was.
No, but he had one of his better
Brownlow
games
medals.
tonight.
But he had a fantastic game tonight.
Willem Drew kicked our ass mostly because he was matched up with Warple. Warple was horrendous.
Yep.
We give out a weekly award on our show, Worst on Round, which is the worst player out of the entire round, all 9 games. And if Warple didn't have a goal, he would be a prime candidate for it. So would Danger. Normally, kicking a goal absolves you unless you negate it by doing something really stupid, like Tom Lynch has done a couple times.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I see a lot of guys in this midfield who look really good when we go and face poor teams. And the moment we go out there and face a top midfield, they get obliterated. This is where I don't know what the solution is besides, just like, obviously you would love to get Butters. Maybe you try to get, see if Richmond would give up Tim Taranto, because he's actually having a hell of a season.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid and pretty consistent the entire time. There we go. Ben has fixed up the graphic.
I like that.
He loves the beer paddle. He's got the
American
flag in there.
I do.
Got it all sorted.
Can attest to that. But I see a lot of guys in our midfield where nobody has taken that next step. And credit to Butters for solving O'Sheen's tag tonight. I think O'Sheen was actually decent with the ball and played all right. Butters just had a really good game.
Yep.
Can't fault him as much on that. But when nobody's able to step up there, and yes, Bailey Smith got a lot of the ball and didn't butcher it too many times, but he's not bodying up and stopping Butters or Horn Francis. Nobody is. Yeah. And that's why we've had this problem against good midfields, even if the rest of the team sucks, like at this time last year when Cripps and Walsh ran straight through us. Or
I think that's kind of I guess our most physical, defensively minded midfielder is obviously Tommy Atkins, but he's just not, and for as brilliant as he is, he's not got the physical size to be able to deal with a Horn Francis, for example, if he comes the other way, full steam.
And he's not fast enough.
To be fair, not many people do. Horn Francis is a big boy.
Yeah. We needed more out of
and he plays like Danger. He's a Paddy Dangerfield in terms of the way he plays. Mark O'Connor can kind of do it, but we don't have. you obviously cited Paddy Cripps. We don't have someone who can kind of stand toe-to-toe with them physicality-wise.
Every time we play GWS, it gets exposed by guys like Callahan, and it would be Tom Green, but now he's hurt.
Yeah.
Now Clayton Oliver will take that role.
Yeah.
This happens against a lot of teams, and it's a fundamental issue. It's kind of amazing, actually, that it didn't happen last week and that we managed to kind of prevent it against Freo, because that's another team where just like the midfield lines up and it's like, we don't have enough guys that elevate their game to match the top competition in the midfield.
Yeah.
We do at other spots, totally.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
in the midfield, that got exposed. And honestly, our back line, I don't care who we had out there tonight, with the amount of times they were getting tested, it was going to crack.
Yeah.
And frankly, most of the problems we had tonight, other than Georgiadis getting a bunch early and whiffing on a few of them, were not problems that Blitzovs would have solved. Like, losing him hurts. He's a glue guy. He's an incredibly valuable player. But we had problems tonight that aren't things he's going to address. The speed on contests that spill off of packs, the ground balls. Those are things where, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess Wiltshire or Clark would help a little.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryan would help some there, even if he has, like, one functioning ACL and one that we don't know about. I don't know if Stevens would even help there because, speed's not his thing, and we got outrun repeatedly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some of these guys that get us, and we've cited a few examples, they do have the athletic capacity, but then they also have that physical size. They're beasts.
I mean, shit, I'm concerned about what we're going to do with Sheasel and Davies Uniacke next week. Davies Uniacke's been brilliant. Yeah. And then on top of that, you would love to have Blitzovs to match up with Jerry. Who knows how long he's out? I'm glad it seems to just be a hyperextension, but I don't know what the timetable is there.
That could still be a few weeks, at least.
Yeah, I would think, I would expect, hopefully get him back before the bye. But
yeah, when is that? Well, I've lost track of time.
Bye's pretty late, actually. I would think we'll have him back before that evening.
Quickly swinging over to it now. So,
we got exposed tonight. That's simple. And coaching tonight,
not till round 16. So we're a long way off. He'll definitely be back before then.
Also, coaching tonight, we made 0 adjustments until it was way too late. Why on our kick-ins do we look like teams look when they come to play at our place? Like, we're used to playing on a thinner ground. How can we not kick to a boundary properly? How do we keep kicking it out? Are those just skill errors, or what were we doing?
There was a lot of it tonight. I think there's skill errors, and that I think my personal stance is that those skill errors and some of those other things just links back to the I think the lack of intensity in some of those sort of aspects that we were talking about before. So
you take that, you take nobody, whether that was a coach or a player, nobody stepped up and put Dangerfield in the middle at any point. Like, that was really embarrassing on his part. I don't know who, whether it's him or a coach or somebody's got to step up and say, hey, get in the middle, do something. You're the captain. I don't know what kind of, like, I really like Dangerfield, the player, but you can argue that our forward line hasn't been as sharp when he's in there. And then there's a question of, like, what kind of captain is getting 4 touches? I mean, even Liam Duggan doesn't do that. Liam Duggan's the worst captain in the league. He'll get like 14 touches. 7 will be turnovers. That's still like 7 useful touches. That's more than 4.
Yeah.
It seems like they resigned way too early tonight when Port were giving us every opportunity to hang around.
Yeah, and we didn't do anything to shake things up.
Yeah, and the umpires also gave us some help tonight, honestly. We got a good chunk of the bad calls went our way. There was one early where Lawson got away with a really bad hold. There was like an obvious holding the ball they didn't call. And this game was right
we didn't
there
capitalize.
to be taken by an opportunistic team. And we were not opportunistic. I've made the comparison to 2023, and so have other people. But here's the thing. maybe this is a good thing because 2023 kind of sucked. Round 6, 2023, belted the Swans, won a couple more games, and then went back to shit for a few weeks. Instead, we went right back to it in round 7. Maybe, for a few years, Sir Doug Nicholls round, we couldn't win to save our lives. Maybe now it'll be Anzac round instead. Maybe this is just where we can't win.
I don't know. I'm trying not to get too... I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater too much. I don't want to come to too many conclusions, I suppose.
I think the biggest conclusion...
I think for the most part, we just had a putrid one.
Yeah, but the biggest conclusion we can draw is that our midfield has one real guy who gets after it. And while he gets a lot of touches, he's not going to usually go limit an opponent. And everyone else is just not good enough. You need someone out of Bruin or Bowes or somebody to step up. And Bowes ended up having a couple of the dumbest plays of the night.
Couldn't question his effort. He went in.
Effort was fine for him. Effort was fine for most guys.
The application was poor.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even agree with the effort in the case of probably half of the team. I felt like was lacking in that respect.
Yeah, I thought Warple's effort was pretty poor. There was one in the midfield. It was a 2-on-2, and he basically just let Lachie Jones pick up and run right by him. He let at least 3 or 4 ground balls bounce right past him, and he's supposed to be a good ground level player. He should be dropped. I was very optimistic a couple weeks ago, thought, all right, people have been too hard on him. Give him a chance. Well, he kind of undid any goodwill he could have had from that performance against the Eagles and an okay game last week. And I'm surprised we didn't. I don't know if Dempsey he seemed to just not be able to get a clean touch tonight either. But I thought that was somewhere that he would have been able to get going because they're not very good out wide except McKinley. As long as Burgoyne's in the middle, like Jacob Ware is a weak spot, and we did not exploit that.
Yeah, no, agreed. Yeah, there was lots of opportunities, lots of things we could, there's lots of could have and should haves there, and it goes back to some of the stuff you were talking about coaching wise. We just didn't take advantage of some of those opportunities that were there.
And we didn't, I get, coaches aren't going to be as overreactionary as fans. I get that. But at some point, someone's got to press a button to try to do something.
Yeah.
And I don't know what adjustments they even bothered making until it was way, way too late. Maybe should have tried dropping the tag a little earlier, if anything, or switching the tag to Horn Francis. But again, move Dangerfield into the middle for a minute and rest someone else forward. I don't know. You can rest Bruin forward or something, or shit, Warple kicked a goal. Maybe he could have rested forward. But I would think we're going to
magnet flipping. Yeah. Decision making all around on the field, on field and off, it was poor.
Yeah. I would like to think, thanks to the wild card, we shouldn't have to worry about playing finals.
Yes.
As much as the wild card shouldn't be a thing.
I'm worried for Bailey Smith and some of his various comments, and Chris Scott and some of his various comments if we end up there. Not that, for the most part, it'll be water off a duck's back, but it'll be coming for him after all the we hate it, we don't value this, and all of a sudden we're utilizing it.
But I'd like to think we're going to have a very different 23 out there personnel-wise than we had tonight, and we'll see. I'm sure there's someone who's yet to debut that'll take off. I'm sure at least a couple guys are going to get dropped because we've hammered this home. We have, and we're getting tested right now with injuries, but we've got at least 30 guys capable of playing an AFL game. So hopefully we see more of the ones that weren't out there tonight next week because, again, a lot of guys could be dropped for this one. This was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't make for good viewing. And it's also probably, for more than any episode this year, we've got a fair old queue of people looking to jump in. So I suspect there's a sentiment shared by yourself, Ben, many others that is fairly negative. There's a lot of criticism, I think, to be shared for this one.
Yeah, hopefully.
And shout out to everyone who's sitting in the green room right now and is going to pop in soon enough, because it's awesome to have you on board. But I think we're all feeling it a bit off the back of that one.
I mean, shit, last week, what do you come on and say? I love everyone. Everything's great.
And then this week, week,
I mean,
we love them all. Everything was shit.
If you really wanted to look, it was hard to find negatives last week. I guess 3-2-1. Actually, before I get to that, one of the things we said with Atkins, he played his absolute best season last year. Got blatantly disrespected in Brownlow votes. He should have been more around 10 than whatever they gave him, 3 or something. And expecting him to replicate that is just not going to happen. But a couple other guys are going to have to lift some like they did last year. Like Max Holmes just hasn't quite been there yet.
Oh, see, I've been fine with him previous weeks off halfback, and this week I think was, I don't know, the disposal efficiency wasn't great, which is not always he's one would, but disposal efficiency wasn't great. He couldn't find the ball as much tonight, despite how much time the ball spent up there.
Disposal efficiency from anyone who got a lot of it was pretty bad, except Atkins, actually, and that was mostly by hand right in the middle. And I guess, okay, Zach Guthrie was a decent stabilizing force. I guess there's a positive.
There's one.
3-2-1. This one's tough because a lot of them sucked. 3 definitely Jezza. 2. Man, this one's
slim pickings tonight.
Yeah, it's I guess 2 Zach Guthrie, 1 Bailey Smith.
Yeah.
O'Sheen was actually all right with the ball. And again, though, got his tag broken, so it's a hard one to evaluate. Frio, by the way, just went back up 10. Jeremy Sharp, who's laid in with Patrick Voss out sick, just kicked a goal.
Yeah, right.
And I really hope DeConing isn't hurt. But if he's not hurt, and if he was really just managed, whoever decided to make him a laid out tonight should lose their job.
Yeah. I kind of hope that there was something that there was something to it.
Shadou Jezza was my 3. He kicked 3 goals. He got out on the wing and got involved when he could. He had one tough late miss. He was pretty damn good though.
Yeah.
And Jack Martin, I did definitely consider. I thought,
if it was good,
super high effort,
some good things.
Just didn't have a lot of it.
Got in front of the sticks, but
effort was high, and he actually took a decent mark on the forward 50. He doesn't just have to be a ground level player. So I guess that was
he's good. He's a good aerial player. He does a great job up there.
Yeah. I don't know if Reece Stanley has to come in next week. I would think he might have to because Edwards was clearly not right. And my guess is he wouldn't have stayed on even if Blitz was okay, or we would have managed his minutes more. His ankle's definitely going to be sore. Maybe a little swollen. Hopefully nothing too bad there, but that definitely hurt a lot. But we still, we can win games without elite ruck performances. Just
we've proven that, but
requires midfielders to actually show up. And again, most of them didn't tonight.
So
yeah, I guess Jezza's our polished turd. Horn Francis, they gave the medal to.
Okay, I didn't catch that.
Well deserved. Anyway, hopefully Blitz is okay. Hopefully Edwards is okay. Hopefully we field a more competent 23 next week because we need to win these next couple before we enter a really, really, really
it's a tough block coming up.
Yeah. By the way, before you go, did you watch the Collingwood game at all?
No, not really. I haven't seen a lot of it. And then as the scores blew out, I just didn't bother.
I mean, Dacos got off the chain 7th, 3rd, and Pendlebury was ridiculous. But, on paper, they're not that scary. For a half, it was not good football. And then Essendon looked really bad. Also, they said, or McRae said, good chance Pendlebury does rest one of these next couple. So
it was always going to happen. They weren't going to, especially when the AFL couldn't, and due to sponsors and all those things, couldn't flex things too much, despite Geelong's good efforts to try and support him.
Yeah.
Because of all the sponsor stuff, they couldn't really flip the script too much. It
now,
made sense. Give him a break.
Now, do they rest him twice? Because if they rest him once, the game he'll miss. The game he'd do it would be interstate on the road against Sydney, and then I think
miss this week. Play against Geelong, and then
miss Sydney, and then do it
miss
in the home game.
1 on 1 off for about a month.
Yeah, and then I guess he would do it. I guess it would be at Marvel against West Coast. Good. I guess that would help you sell out Marvel. Or no, that is at the MCG. Perfect for them.
There we go. Problem solved.
Great. All works out.
Anyway, play against us, fine.
I don't care what other teams do if we show up like that. We got to be better.
Yeah, it won't matter. Yeah, we could find ourselves losing to Richmond if we played like that again.
Yeah, that was bad.
Well, mate, thank you very much for coming on board.
Thanks.
It's always a tricky one when we lose, especially when we lose poorly. But thanks for coming on board, mate. And we'll chat nice and soon.
See you in about 8 days.
Next week. Yeah. See you then.
Or same time next week. Yeah. Or earlier.
Looking forward to it. All right. We're flipping to I don't think it's a debut. Full stop. Maybe Lachie's been on with Ben in the past, but I'm going to bring Lachie on now, who's been having a great time in the background. I've also seen some teal scarves, so I'm a bit worried here.
No, I'm meant to be able to hear him. I don't know.
How's things, mate?
Wait, all of a sudden I can't hear you.
I'll give you a second. I can hear you.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Wait, I'll leave. Wait 1 second. Let me back in. 1 second.
Love a good technical issue. We'll give Lachie a second, who we could hear but clearly couldn't hear us. So, thank you to everyone who's been tuning in the chat so far. It's been awesome. Obviously, a very disappointing result. We'll give Lachie a second, then we'll bring him in. We've got Brenton there. I think potentially a debut, certainly with me as the host anyway. We've got Kiri. We've got Ben in the background as well. There we go. Lachie's just jumped back in. Hopefully we work in this time. There we go.
All right, done. I can hear you. Debut.
I'm seeing the teal scarves in the background from some people you with. That makes me anxious about where this conversation's going to go.
There's sport fans everywhere, but I've left them for the minute. I cannot believe that. What was that?
That was dog shit.
Mate, I thought, honestly, we were going to win by 130. I don't know. And the players thought that too.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. They probably came in thinking it was just going to happen.
I know they were thinking. I know they were thinking that. I was down near the rooms in the race pre-game. They were that up and about. Not to name names, but a certain guy with a mullet who has 500,000 followers on Instagram. He's running down. Oh yeah, F Port. Yeah, this is awesome. Adelaide. All of a sudden, we roll out like we run the joint, and we put up that. Embarrassing. Honestly, embarrassing.
That's a little interesting side story to the whole thing. I mean, look, to be fair, Baz carries on a bit like a bit of a
he does
most of the time, so it doesn't faze me too
much. Great guy though, great guy.
So that is interesting, especially if that's in any way reflective of anyone else. That's
I don't know. They were up and about though. They honestly were up and about, and you can't go to any away day. Like, I don't care who it is, if it's North or Port Adelaide, any interstate, any away game, and just think you're going to just win. Like, that doesn't happen. Yep. They're that hard to win interstate games. We roll up here and they embarrass us. They honestly, I don't bag the club ever. Never do I bag the club. But when a lack of effort really shits me. A lack of effort.
Yeah,
that's all it was.
It's I was saying, I think with Ben before, I don't know if you were already in the background of that, or with Ethan before. But it stinks of that Carlton game from last year. Where like similar history, like we didn't play very well that night either, but the effort was lacking as well. And I think tonight was the same sort of thing where we had both a lack of effort and maybe they thought it was all just going to happen, and then the execution was shit ass, and it all just.
I don't know. And it was hard to tell from the front row of the cheer squad. Did Mullen go to Butters or?
Yeah, he went to Butters, but then they dropped the tag.
They dropped the tag. I don't know why they dropped the tag.
Only okay,
we were still in it though.
They went chips in, but the problem was that the other blokes around Mullen, as we've kind of discussed a little bit in the thing here, Warple and some of the other blokes, they just couldn't get hands on it. They couldn't get hands on it. They couldn't dispose of the ball well. It didn't matter. Like, we dropped the tag, sure, and Butters certainly got more his hands on it more in that final quarter again. But
Yeah.
when you drop the tag, you're hoping that you then get something offensively going the other way, and we didn't. So
We couldn't get anything. Like it was, and they honestly could have won by like 80. They were that dreadful in front of goal.
Oh yeah,
It was crazy.
Should have been 10 goals at least.
Oh yeah, the scoreboard flatters us massively. But I'm just gonna name some people not from our club, but I'm just gonna name some names from Port Adelaide, and you tell me if they should be beating a superstar Geelong side with Bailey Smith, Bruin, Holmes, Jezza. Now have a listen to some of these names that were out on the park tonight. Josh Lai. Have a listen to Josh Lai. Lachie Jones. Here's this one. McKinlay. Moraes.
Rock stars tonight, but
Jacob Ware. Where was he until now? I don't know. He just rocks up out of nowhere. Some of their D-grade players looked like absolute Brownlow medalists. It was disgusting. Oh, we would at Vicentini's another one for you. Have that Vicentini. Yep.
And let's not ignore Jordan Sweet while we're at it. Who's
Jordan Sweet,
the best game of his career.
And
we'll never play like that ever again.
How many times did we kick it to Aaliyah as well? Was it a lot? It felt like a lot.
Hang on, let me see if I can quickly dig out some numbers.
It honestly felt like we just kept kicking it to him.
Intercept possessions. He had 6 intercept possessions on the night. Let me see if I can filter that for intercept marks. And he had 4 intercept marks for the night, double the next best on the field. Oh, hang on, that's just power. He had 4, still the most on the ground.
Yeah, and it was like we couldn't get anything going. We were so stagnant from the back line. We couldn't get anything going our way whatsoever. There is play. I'm not going to name them, but in our team that were playing there tonight, they need to go to the twos for a spell. And I love them, but they need to go for a spell.
Luke?
Like,
Bro, say hi to Cooper.
Hey, Cooper. There is some people in our teams that are just no good.
Go on.
Like, I'm just going to name them. I love Brad Close.
Oh, yeah.
I love Brad Close.
We've been doing this for a while, so speak your mind when it comes to Brad Close.
Oh, Brad Close. I love him. He wears the sleeves. He's got the 45. Oh, mate. I'm at the point with Close. If he left at the end of the year, it wouldn't faze me. I love him, though, but, like, he's off. Another one I absolutely love. Sean Manor. Where has he been? Like, he's fallen off the face of the earth.
Last week I thought, okay, sweet, he's back. He had those 2 shit games, and then last week he was back. But then today,
that's what I felt about Geelong. I felt that about Geelong. I thought last week, because I honestly thought up until last week we hadn't had a good win yet, and then we go and beat the Bulldogs by whatever it was, a big margin. But now I look back and think we beat up a battered Bulldogs side. We roll into Adelaide thinking we're going to roll them, and then we lose to a bottom 3 side.
Shawnee Manor. Yeah, touched it 13 times. Kicked a goal, but touched it 13 times.
It was a late, wasn't it? It was just a late goal, though, wasn't it? Or was it not? Maybe it wasn't.
I can't remember. Chat. Someone remind me.
I don't know.
Brad Close kicked one late.
Close kicked one late. That's right. It was close. Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember when the Sean Manor came up, but
it reeks of 2023. I don't know where we stand still.
There we go. Sorry, I just checked. It was early in the final quarter, so it wasn't junk time stuff. It was when the game was.
It wasn't junk time, but
we still had a chance at that point. But yeah, you didn't do a lot.
No, and probably Warple's another one. I'm not sure.
Yep. Bring Jai Clark in.
And Stevens, is Stevens ready to go? I don't like what George Stevens.
Stevens is absolutely ready to go. We just don't want to pull the trigger. He doesn't even get on the emergency list.
And I'll bring this to your attention. Sam de Koning, we noticed he wasn't down there in the rooms pre-game. Where's Sam de Koning?
He was laid out being managed.
No, if he was managed, serious questions need to be asked about if he was managed.
Yeah,
that's disgusting.
If there's not actually some sort of injury there,
he had to have tweaked something.
Yeah, you hope so, because otherwise it says a bit about mindset, right? It goes back to some of the things we were talking about with Baz and some of the boys and the way they were carrying themselves before. So
it's actually mindset, yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, I think there's a few that could absolutely come out and be replaced by blokes who are doing a really solid, consistent job in the VFL, who are kicking the door down. George Stevens hasn't even been named as an emergency this year. Not once.
I don't know how.
I think he should be there. We were chatting when we were talking to Ethan. We were talking about how we don't have that ball now. Look, Georgie boy is not necessarily still known for his ultra defensive elements as a midfielder, but he's still he's a big,
he's a gun
midfielder. But
yeah, he's a bull.
which is the perfect foil for the likes of Baz, Max Holmes, Tanner Bruin when they go there, who are great and are willing to put their nose down and get the ball, but they could still get knocked off it a bit easier than someone like George. I
agree.
Tom Atkins wants to play that way, but he doesn't have the same physical size. It's just for him, it's just like a force of will. He just
I didn't mind Tom Atkins' game tonight. I think he always digs in. I don't know. What do you reckon about Atkins?
Yeah, no, I thought he was fine. It wasn't his best performance, but he went in, had a crack, and there was only so much he could do because his teammates were stinking it up around him.
He had a crack. Tommy Stewart, was he all right or?
Yeah, he was fine. We actually swung him on to Georgiades towards the end of the game there, just to quieten him down a bit.
Yeah, well,
he finished with 27 in the end.
Georgiades could have.
You wouldn't have seen this because you're obviously wandering the ground, but Tyson Stengel was wandering around in the rooms after the game.
Oh,
after all the talk this week, he was in the rooms.
That's
with the boys,
positive. That's positive. That's good to hear. That is actually positive.
If all the reporting's right, it's not a Geelong and Stengel call; it's an AFL call. So I'm sure if he's got the opportunity to hang out with the boys, then he's going to hang out with the boys.
I think so because he's obviously been staying over here for a couple of weeks or whatnot. But
yeah,
Stengel. I don't know because it was funny 2 weeks ago. There was a lot of talk around the club that he was going to come back and play VFL in a week, and then I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to speculate on those things, but I think he'll be back. But again, I don't know.
I think he will too. They've just got to sort out whatever's going on and tick the boxes that he's got to tick with the AFL, and then go from there. Yeah,
I don't know.
Anyone else you wanted to pump up or have a real dig at tonight?
Can I attack the coaches? Like it felt like we just what happened? I honestly thought. No, is Buckley? Is he the backline coach? I don't know.
Yeah. Bucks is the defensive coach.
Nathan Buckley, listen here, mate. Okay, actually say something that I actually believe in. I believe in this. You can't have two clashing minds at the club. I think I don't know, this could be way off, but I think Chris Scott and Buckley clash. They don't agree on things, and it looked awful at the ground, us coming out our backline. We would stand there. And kicking across goal. We couldn't get out of our back line. Bite off a dangerous kick once in a while. Hope it works, and then we go. No,
you're right. There was no attempt at like that 45-degree angle changing kick. It was either a proper like full blown switch, or we just kick it down the line. And 99% of the time, it was kicking down the line.
And that probably Myers out of the side. Grian out of the side probably doesn't help with that.
Yeah,
he's a good.
He's that good 45 kick, but the other blokes will sometimes go for it, and look, it works. I would still say it works more often than not. But
even Lawson, I thought Lawson, I thought he's a good ball user. I feel, he was just off tonight.
There was a couple of people.
Yeah, that really infuriated me when we couldn't get anything going out the back line, and I will be interested to see what Scotty says in the presser. I know what he'll say. He'll say, "Oh yeah, well, on to next week."
He
doesn't say anything.
Scotty says a lot and nothing at all at the same time.
He says nothing, but yeah, the back line. And if if I ever find out that he wasn't injured, there's problems.
He better miss next week. He better miss next week with an ankle or something.
He better miss next week. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems sus. I don't know. We'll see.
It was sus. Big time.
But before we bounce, you were at the ground, so I'd be keen to get your votes, your 3-2-1 for the Cats tonight.
Oh, it's so hard.
I know it's probably going to be hard to pick some positive ones, but you do bring a perspective that I know Kiri's bouncing around and will inevitably join us as well shortly. And he was there at the ground as well. But most of us don't have. Most of us were watching on the TV tonight. So
yeah, I always like to go back and watch the replay. I honestly thought Tommy Atkins. Well, obviously Jez kicked 3. Jez was pretty good.
3 goals too.
Yeah. I honestly think Tommy Atkins probably 3 votes, but I just love Tommy Atkins. He just goes at it. It wasn't his best game, but he still dug in. A lot of boys, it was a lack of effort.
Yeah, 15 disposals, 9 tackles, one clearance, which was down for him, but we
got battered in the clearances.
We got obliterated. Yeah, it was like where is it? 46-28. So
and that gets me because we're star-studded. I know they got Butters, Horn Francis. We've got what I believe to be stars: Bruin, Holmes, Bailey Smith.
Yeah.
They're stars
and
to me.
And Axe knows how to go and win the ball too. Like he's not the flashy sort, but he gets in at the bottom of the contest and wins it. So
he's a hard nut. And I'll go Atkins 3, Jez 2, maybe Tommy Stewart 1. Is there anyone that I'm missing that played a good game?
Look, I mean, despite all his talk pre-game, Baz was pretty solid.
Baz, yeah.
Baz was pretty solid.
He's always solid. So he doesn't come to the front of mind, but he just goes about it. He's good.
Only played 81% tonight though, which is a bit low.
Baz only played 80% of the time. Yeah, okay. And when I said Bailey was chirpy pre-game, that he's chirpy every game. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Mate, he was loving it. But
it's the vibes that you're going to get from the others. They're going to say more about it. Actually, one question for you, Danger.
Yep.
Danger. What do we do with Danger?
No, you shouldn't have asked me. Dangerfield, our captain. By the way, everyone in the chat, that's our captain. I think that's his second time this year he's gone less than 5 touches. Did he have even 5? I don't know.
He finished
junk
with 4.
Junk time touches. He finished with 4 and he had junk time touches. How does that make sense? How much game time did he play? I need to know
that. 76. So this wasn't a managed Danger sort of game time. I just think
captain.
Keen to hear your thoughts. I think I've got no problems with Danger being in our 23. I just continue to go back to the fact that I think he should be like what we did with Joel Selwood, play him off the bench, 50% game time, and just goes into the midfield and bashes and crashes.
I couldn't agree more. I was waiting for him. First, I'll say this. In 2023, I thought Dangerfield was going to retire. I thought he was done in 2023.
Yeah.
I just thought, he's old.
A couple of hammies, all those sorts of things, yeah.
All of a sudden, you get performances like the prelim last year. He got us into the grand final, single-handedly. Yeah. And then I was waiting for tonight for him to step up and just go crash a couple packs, get a couple hard balls. But guess what? He didn't want to. None of them wanted to. They didn't want to lift. Dangerfield, what can I say? You've had 2 games this year under 5 touches and you're the captain of the football club. I don't know what that says about everyone. What is that?
I mean, look, no, our disposal inside 50 was dog shit tonight. So, it didn't give him much of a chance as well. But at the same time, and especially because he's the captain, just go up the ground. Get in the midfield. Go attend a few centre bounces.
Start a centre bounce. Just go a singular centre bounce and just run through someone. Just put someone's head in the ground. Honestly, I was screaming in the front row, just going, "Come on, Danger, lift him!"
Do something. Just go somewhere else. Yeah.
It was a hard watch. Here's another cheer squad member who's just stumbled out. Sean, what'd you think, mate? That was no good, was it?
That was fucking shit. What a waste of a trip to Adelaide.
Oh, you got your HSP and a pink milk, though, so you can't be going too bad.
I got my pink milk and a vanilla slide.
Oh! Not bad. I'll see you back next week, Shawnee. I don't know. Actually, I want to bring this up. Where do you think we sit? I thought, like I said, like last week, I thought, okay, we're back. We're the Cats. We're obviously going to make top 4. Now the questions start getting asked just a week later against a low opposition side. So where do we sit?
No, I still think we're that top 6 team. I think this is over the years, even in some of our most successful years, we've had that knack of losing to a shit team from time to time.
Correct.
So I'm not gonna. The effort was down, the quality of the disposal was down, the decision making was bad, both on the field and in the coach's box, and maybe at match committee with Sam DeConing potentially as well. Who knows? So I think this was one of those nights. I hoped that we'd kind of got it out of the system with the Gold Coast game. I think there'll be more. Yeah. They'll probably sit back and pick this one apart a bit more compared to the Gold Coast.
Oh, we better. I hope the coaches go to work. I think
after the Gold Coast one, they go, it was round 0. We had a bad day. It was the first game of the year. We were a bit undercooked.
They didn't want to win the Gold. They didn't care about winning the Gold Coast game. They didn't care.
But this one, you can't use the same excuses. So
no, and it was good conditions out here, by the way, as well. Like really good conditions.
It looked pretty good. It looked good.
That was just okay. Port were due for a win. That's what was. And it's like I said, you're going on an interstate trip. It's never easy. It's hostile in there, but it's Port Adelaide. Like West Coast beat them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I actually don't know where we stand, but yeah, okay. If North even get near us next week, then questions continue to be like, we should roll North by 100 next week. I know they're going well, but it's at GMHBA. We always roll them.
They haven't beaten anyone.
No, Trem Bath, the hero. If he's a good player, but no, seriously, if North get near us, if we don't beat North, if for whatever crazy, or if we only beat North by 2 goals, and then we have Collingwood at the G, they're not going well either. But mate, it's Collingwood at the G.
Then the grand final replay after that.
That's at the Gabba, isn't it as well? I think that's at the Gabba.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, pencil that in as a loss. Like, we're playing at the Gabba against the Lions. It's going to be... It's not... we got Freo at Optus, which isn't going to be easy either.
Is that coming up sooner?
That's early June, I think.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, it's still a while away. But that's the sort of games...
Right now?
Are they? I hope Carlton win.
It was real tight before, but unsurprisingly to everyone, Freo have blown them out. It's up to 41 points.
Oh...
15 minutes ago, there was about a goal, 2 goals in it. Now it's suddenly 7 goals.
At least we're not Carlton, right? But
yeah, it's always good to fall back on that.
That's my positive out of tonight. And Tommy Atkins, I love Tommy Atkins.
We love Tommy Atkins.
Oh, and by the way, one other thing. I just actually bring this to everyone's attention in the chat. Let me know if you agree. Oh my goodness, we have a good-looking coaching staff panel. So I was down in the race. We got Chris Scott. What a man. Nathan Buckley. Think of some more, like, they're all, mate, they're that good looking that it's unbelievable. We got Married at First Sight contestants in our coaching panel. It's unbelievable. I love them. But Sam DeConing, I don't know what they'll do.
Yeah, no, let's watch that space. There we go. Shadoos just jumped in saying Chris Scott, the Silver Fox.
Oh, is he what? Oh my goodness, he goes all right. Wow. And then you got his brother Brad. You lose Pebbles up there.
Oh, yeah, and Shadoos also shouted out Andrew Mackey as being a looker as well.
Oh, yeah, Mackey. Heaps of them. Every single one of them. I was just sitting there in pure admiration pre-game, just looking at him thinking, wow, what do you know?
Even in his playing days, Mac, the lips always a little bit shiny. You go, I wonder if you've just been shooting anything into those lips just to keep him.
He's a star. He's a star. One last question.
Go for it.
Reece Stanley will never get back in the side. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. Unless injuries and people fall over.
Okay, but yeah.
But if it's a form-based conversation, then no, he's not going to come back.
This isn't a bit College Jasny getting dropped
maybe
as well.
Goodbye game, maybe. I don't know.
College Jasny getting dropped. What do you reckon?
I don't. You're probably not aware of this. A couple of years ago, after some pretty shitty performances, there would have been a 6 to 8 week block that he just stunk it up. I dubbed Jack Henry the foreskin because when things get hard, he disappears.
Oh, does he what?
And tonight was another one of those nights.
Yeah.
Collar should have stayed in.
I honestly think I couldn't believe they dropped him. Couldn't believe it. But anyway, that's enough from me.
To be fair, you can't have all of them, but
no, you can't. But
also, when we go and drop Sam DeConing as well,
I wouldn't hate if we just drop Close, drop Manor, and just give some other guys a run. I feel like we just need to get George Stevens.
Let's not forget Warple.
Oh, Warple, what? He's a nice guy, by the way. I met him a couple of weeks. A really nice guy, but they're all nice guys. We're here to win a premiership. Yeah. I don't know.
That's fair. Good point.
I don't know. But one good thing about Geelong, the premiership window never closes. So just
it's always on. It's always on.
It's always on. All right, thank you for my debut. I'll be on next week, hopefully. Just send me the link. Send me the link and I'll join.
Yeah, we'll make sure to do it. It's the same link. Actually, Ben, I think, sent you the link, so it's the same link each week.
Okay, sweet. Legend. Because I always forget, but yeah.
All good, mate. Have a good one.
All right, enjoy the trip back. Thank you. See ya. Cheers.
All right, Brenton, you good to go? Let's bring him in.
To go. Hey, Paul.
How you going?
Oh, not too bad. No worries. I didn't get to see much of the game. It was, as you said, pretty much dog shit. I actually turned it off and watched Fast and the Furious 5. That's how boring it was.
That says a lot, but I'm also I don't have a lot of time and interest for the Fast and Furious franchise. So to me, it says a lot if you're going from watching a bad Geelong game to the Fast and Furious. That says we've done real bad.
Yeah, really surprised and shocked that DK was so-called managed. And he's been in good form of late.
He's been in amazing form, and I I've been trying to think about it as we've all been chatting tonight. I can't even think of a specific incident where he might have tweaked something or whatever. There's nothing that springs to mind where he got up proppy or something like that, even in last week's game. Is there anything you can think of at all?
He's been pretty solid. He's been really solid. I would lock him in our best 22.
Oh, his form's been amazing. I'm just trying to think if there was a moment last week where he got up proppy, maybe he hurt his ankle. I can't think of anything like that will go, oh, that was why he was out this week.
But how did you see the game? As I said, I turned it off.
Oh no, it was awful. It was awful. It was the disposal was poor. The connection between players was poor. If Lachie's right, and admittedly he's basing it a little bit based on Baz and Baz's energy, but which is always a little bit different to the rest of the blokes. But he seems to think that a few of the other boys were maybe walking in there thinking it was just going to happen.
That's what I thought. Right from the get-go, I noticed that Port's pressure was up, and they just
and we weren't
rolled us.
Nowhere near it. Yeah, and good on Port. I think for them to give themselves a chance, they were going to need to play with that sort of energy. But we just didn't fly the flag at any point. It seemed like they'd kind of resigned themselves by halfway, through the second, maybe early in the third, to go, okay, it's just not our night. I guess we'll give it up.
And realistically, how many games do you think Danger will play this year?
I still think he'll play most. And you've probably heard me do this so many times now, I just think we're using him wrong.
I agree.
Through the midfield, do what they did with Joel Selwood. It worked a treat. They are different, but the one thing that they both have in common is that they see that ball and they go get that ball. And
I watched the Collingwood game today, and I don't want to draw comparisons towards Pendlebury and Dangerfield, but Pendlebury just blitzed him. But as they were saying on Fox Footy, why doesn't Danger just do something like that and carry us?
Yeah. I think when things are firing, when the delivery inside 50, and I think about obviously the prelim last year and him putting his superhero cape on and dragging us through it. The other component to that performance of his is that the delivery inside 50 was unreal. He fought and he found himself in the right place at the right time and he executed every time. But the delivery inside 50 was great that night. Tonight he had zero opportunity there to really influence the game, and when he did, he kind of went missing. So throw him in the midfield where he doesn't have to worry about what the other blokes are doing in terms of their delivery to him. He can just see the ball and just bury himself at the bottom of the pack and win it. And I've been saying it for 18 months. I think that we should have been doing this last year as well. Obviously it kind of blew up in my face a little bit with that prelim, but whatever. I think there's probably 23 other games last year where he would have been better as a midfielder. I'm shocked that it's a move that we haven't made, or even just gone, hey, we need, even tonight we're going, maybe this is not our go-to play. Maybe we don't want to do this. I don't agree with it, but maybe it's not our go-to play, but hey, we need a circuit breaker here. So let's go and throw a Brownlow medalist midfielder, a bloke who's dominated the competition for the bulk of a decade. Let's go throw that bloke back in there. See if he's able to change the momentum.
I want to throw it out there. Is his passion still there? Is the want for the ball still there?
I think
you reckon?
I just don't think he's near it enough to be able to show that to people. And that's why and I think also if I was able to just make the move right now and go, okay, Danger, you're playing the first quarter in the midfield next week, I think he would show us all very quickly. Go, oh yeah, there it is. That's what Brenton's just been questioning. There it is for all to see. It's just that he's not in a part of the ground where he's able to just flex that muscle constantly.
And I've been banging on this for years as well, but we always underestimate the lower teams on the ladder.
Yeah, we've done it for decades.
And this was just another example of it.
For no good reason. Yeah. Yeah, like I said before, Carlton last year, Port tonight. Who knows? Might be Carlton in a few weeks, but again, we should be a worry. But
and if we play like that next week against North, we'll get rolled.
Absolutely, yeah. If we don't bring
we can't turn up like that against North.
Yeah, and look, I suspect they probably won't. I'd imagine they're going to get ripped through this week, and there's probably like I was saying there with Lachie a moment ago. I think they can probably look at the round 0 game and go, here's a multitude of reasons why we weren't good to go for this one. Let's just ignore it. But they can't do that this time. They've come off belting a team. They were up and about. Their key forward, like their rock star key forward.
Was it a short turnaround? Was it a 5-day or 6-day break?
What day did we play? No, it was a longer break. It was an 8-day break for this one because we played the Friday night against the Dogs and then rolled into Saturday. That was off the back of a 6-day break into a 5-day break, but then this was a longer one.
That's another pet peeve, like with the fixturing as well, like the break. The fixturing is up the wazoo.
Yeah.
Because we were in Adelaide 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the gather. Oh, yeah. Sorry, we've done gather round, we've done Adelaide, and we've done Port Adelaide. Kiri's in the background, so I'm sure you'll hear this, but we don't need to go back to that shithole of a joint now for the rest of the year. He's shaking his head in the green room, and I'm sure I'm going to get flipped off in a second too, and all that. Like, it'll be good.
And Lawson Humphrey's having a bit of a purple patch.
Oh, see, I thought tonight he was a bit off the boil. Like he's still fine. He was finding the ball at a pretty good clip, but the disposal, which has kind of been one of his main weapons, I feel like that wasn't really so much there tonight. Otherwise, I'd agree though. Otherwise, I would agree.
Yeah, and as like Lachie touched on, half the team were just really poor.
Not there. Yeah,
not there. And like, if we really want to contend, like, and we've got a hard block coming up after North. Like, we've got Collingwood, Freo, and Sydney and Brisbane. They're all contenders.
Yeah.
So we got to start flexing now.
You got to wake up. Yeah. You don't want to just try and flick the switch and go, all right, big dogs, let's go. You kind of want to come into it with a bit of momentum. Spartacus is paraphrasing me a bit here. Adelaide is the Colon of Australia, literally a shithole. Kiri, I didn't say that. He's words.
But no, I'm really liking Mitch Edwards. I want to give a shout out to Mitch Edwards.
Obviously had a pretty rough night tonight. He seemed to be pretty banged up and sore. He didn't have
up against a bigger body was sweet.
Yeah. It didn't have blitz there to kind of help give him a bit of a chop out. Things didn't really go his way tonight, but he's had a great start to his career. So
he's got shades of I'm sure shades of Brad Ottens.
Yeah. We'll see how he goes if we go and stick him in the like the deep forward line at some point, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we got to get him a goal. We got to get him a goal.
He's got that. If he's got that part to his game, then absolutely he's pill 2.0. But
and Paul Mullen had a
try that yet.
Butters got off the chain from Mullen.
Yeah, I think by Mullen standards, this like his tagging standards. In fact, he's probably from mid 2025 standards onwards. This wasn't a good one, and then they dropped the tag completely when they tried to. I think he went into the final quarter with about 20 disposals on the board at that point, and Mullen had about 12. Like you could see, it wasn't quite working, but then they've gone and completely dropped the tag just to give themselves a chance and go, okay, let's go all chips in. Let's get more aggressive and attack it. And it didn't matter because everyone else was shitting it up around him. So,
what was Bruin's stats for the night?
Finished with 24. Yeah, 24. 17 kicks, 7 handballs, 8 marks, 4 tackles, 2 clearances, 1 behind, and a goal assist.
Yeah, I'm really loving his first 7 games of the year. He's just
Yeah, I mean,
He's
for the
come
most
out
part, he started
fresh,
off really well.
firing.
I think from memory, and I'm going to quickly double check it. I feel like he might have hacked a few from memory. 3 clangers, 4 turnovers. The clangers will be part of those that turnover count. So that's not as bad as I thought. He's kicking efficiency 70%. So that's fine. I think there might have just been 1 or 2 kind of areas that maybe I jumped on that were particularly poor. So I'm probably getting a bit carried away there. No, it was he was attacking the ball tonight.
He looks like he's like as he said post match last week. He's really enjoying his footy, and he just wants to do the team thing. And it's just great to see him out on the park again. Really.
Yeah, agreed. Apparently, Chris Scott said in the press conference, hopefully that Blitz's injury is not serious. So it seems like they're still not super sure. It's clearly, to my layman's eye, clearly not an ACL as far as I'm concerned. It was like we're talking maybe medial hyperextensions, that sort of range. So I don't think we're talking about the big long-termers. So to go back to, I think Ethan was the one that suggested before, he's like, hopefully he's back before the bye. I would like to think he's back in maybe a month, let alone the bye, which I think is about 6 weeks away, 7 weeks away, something like that. Definitely leaving a big pause between those 2 numbers so that any of the 12s that are out here watching don't start throwing their hands around.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, I would like, but I'm no doctor. And we'll, and knowing the Geelong medicos will end up just putting TBC next to his name and not clarifying anything for another 4 or 5 weeks. So, that's just me having another crack at and turning the knife on something that's been driving me wild for a while now. So, is what it is. Spartacus has jumped in saying Butters' game was a tryout. You reckon I agree? You reckon I agree? Proved why we need him and would sell our firstborn child for him. And then says the whole Geelong team for Butters makes it happen. Or everyone in for Butters. Might have to offload a couple for that contract. Even at 1.6, that's a lot of money. Were there any players, and I know you didn't see all of it, and I hope that Fast and the Furious 5 was worth the watch, but were there any other players that caught the eye for good or bad reasons?
Let me see. No, not really. As I said, half the team are down, so but I did like Stewart, I liked Atkins, Bailey, and Jezza.
I thought Connor O'Sullivan was still pretty solid. Didn't execute everything, but I thought he still put in another pretty good game. Ollie Dempsey's not one that's come up tonight, but he had a bit of a nightmare. He kind of
he's been down the last 3 weeks. Ollie Dempsey.
I think he's been getting a bit more attention this year. I think people are clubs are very mindful of what and I don't know if they've worked him out, but I think they're just having to. I think that there's a pretty easy solution to dealing with Ollie Dempsey, which is just get someone to follow him. Don't try and offensively play him the other way because he's very accountable. He will run with his opponent. But if you get sucked into chasing the ball, then that's when he'll instantly peel off and get you going get you when the ball spills out. I think the clubs are just working out. They go, okay, we've got a wingman. Maybe there's one really offensively minded, one really defensively minded. The defensively minded one has to go to Ollie Dempsey. And if you do that, you're halfway there to beating him, I think.
Yeah, so and while I'm here, I just want to give a shout out and love to Tyson Stengel. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, as we've mentioned before, the talk is that he was in the rooms tonight after the game, which is awesome. Hopefully, and as you said, hopefully he's doing well and is getting the support he needs. Obviously, there's plenty of rumors going around about what he is or isn't doing. And if there's any troubles he's having with anything, then hopefully he's able to overcome those shortly.
Yeah, well, I'll wrap it up there. So I'll give you my 3-2-1.
Yeah, give me a 3-2-1.
From what I saw.
It's hard to pick him tonight, but yeah, go for it.
I'll give 3 to Bailey, 2 to Jez, and 1 to Stewart.
Sounds good. I wouldn't argue with those being in our top half a dozen for the night at least. So some pretty good picks.
And Tanner Bruin would probably be up there in the Kaji count, I reckon.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Like he should be top 2 as far as I'm concerned at this point. Spartacus continues to suggest that I am some cartel runner, so he's been calling me El Polo, but it reckons I need to find a way to stump up the 1.6 million myself. Mate, I can barely stump up $1.6.
Next week, I would drop Manor, Close, and I'd bring in
Ollie Wiltshire, Jai Clack.
Ollie Wilshire, yeah, I'll bring him back in. And I'd bring in maybe a George Stevens.
Georgie boy, I like it. I mean, look, there's gonna be presumably at least one change, right? Like Mark Blitzarves is going to come out for however long that happens to be, but you'd imagine he comes out. I would like to think, well, I don't know, going back to the conversation with Lachie, it's going to be real sus if Sam DeConing comes back straight away. But if he's available, then obviously that probably becomes a straight swap. So then it is about, okay, who do we drop from here? And I'm not going to argue with Brad Close. I think Shawnee Manor, I'd probably hang on to Shawnee Manor for a little bit longer, but Warple, I think, could probably go back to the seconds again. And so for my mind, I think there's at least 2 opportunities plus Sam DeConing returning that we could explore. So maybe toss out Jack Henry while we're at it. But anyway.
Yeah, he was pretty pathetic tonight.
He's kind of my whipping boy.
I thought we rushed him back too early. He wasn't on tonight.
Yeah, he was. I'm trying to make like some innuendo-y sort of jokey. He was a little bit soft tonight. If you know, you know, chat. But he just, it was poor decision making. It wasn't a good matchup for him to begin with, but yeah, the decision making was poor. All of it was pretty rubbish. There we go. Should enjoy the joke.
All right, well, I'll leave it there, Paul.
Mate, thank you. So it's certainly the first time you've been on with me, but is this the first post-game live full stop you've ever been on?
With you there?
Certainly with me. Have you been on with Ben in the past?
I've tried to get on, but the link wasn't working. So yeah.
Okay, so it's your first one. Well, yeah. So I've used the debut stuff properly. Then, welcome aboard, mate. It's been a pleasure to get to meet you and get to chat, and hopefully we're doing it again nice and soon.
Yeah, and we should be winning by over 100 next week.
Ooh, over 100. I was gonna play it safe and go, okay, 10 goals should be a reasonable expectation, but 100 points. All right, we'll see how it goes. I'd be very happy if you are right though.
But if it's a 10-goal win, I'll take it.
Okay, good. We don't want to be
but not a 2-point win. Not a 2-point win.
Well, mate, thank you very much for coming on board. And
no worries.
Chatting again soon. Have a good one.
All right, I'll see you next week.
See you, mate. All right. Thank you, Brenton. Let's bring in Ben next. Are you there? Good to go, Ben? I'll unmute you. Oh, I stupidly didn't bring out the layout. Where are you? There you are.
Oh, hello, Paul. Right, hang on.
Hey, mate.
Can I just jump back in? Yeah, I can't hear you for some reason.
Oh, you can't hear me again? Oh, well, these tech issues.
I'll jump back in.
All right, well, we'll give Ben a minute and I'll kind of sit in between the two boxes. I'm not even going to bother with the layout. Let's see how we go.
You got me?
Let's bring him back. There we go. I heard you. You got me? Sweet.
Hear you now.
All right. Talk me through it. It was a bloodbath. Should have been worse.
Yeah, definitely. I wasn't going to come on tonight because I was a bit tired from a bit of work today. And then Ben sent me the link, so I thought we were down on numbers. So I came on. Just No,
appreciate you hanging around then, because obviously, as you've seen, we've debuted a few newbies tonight, so not quite down for numbers in the end. I think Ben's just trying to. I think he was trying to do everything he can to push me up to midnight. but we've still got an hour and 10 to go before we hit that point.
Yep.
I say that now, and I say that now, and I feel like an hour and 10 could disappear like that at this rate. So
What have we been watching? I was just watching Family Guy.
Nice. What season are you up to?
Where are we? We're on. I don't know. It's just those 3 episodes that people upload on YouTube. So just watch those ones. Yeah, tonight was very disappointing. I've got another thing for Jack Henry. Paul McCartney is closer with his ex-wife than what Jack Henry was with his opponent
Mitch
tonight.
Georgiades tonight.
It was not good early. He should have dominated. He should have kicked 10, honestly.
He had 10 shots. So
yeah.
Was it 10 shots in the end? I know he had 4-6 at one point. He didn't get another one. Both. No, 4-6. 4 goals, 6. And I think he kicked one out on the full, if I recall.
Yeah. Number one, I think we tonight was really bad. We just couldn't get anything going. There was no moment throughout the game where we were free. We could not get the ball outside our defensive 50 for the whole of the third quarter. It just came right back, or it was a turnover. It wasn't good in that sense. We just got nothing going. We didn't even get a fake comeback. Just
No, there wasn't that plucky sort of 15, 20 minute, that surge or whatever. There was none of that either.
Yeah, there was none of that. I don't know. It was just what we were doing. Dangerfield had his worst ever game. I didn't know why we didn't even put him in
put him in the midfield. Just put him in the midfield. Like it's not hard.
Like we heard throughout the summer that Ollie Dempsey was training as an inside mid. He's probably never attended a single centre bounce so far this year. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know where I could dig up a stat for that. I know those stats become available or they get publicized. I don't know where I could go and drag the data from.
.com and look at the game and see, just count, then add them up. I mean, how many centre bounces he did? I could not remember one centre bounce.
I'll wait for someone else to do the legwork on that one, and then we can critique it together when the time comes.
Yeah, just put it out with pressure. It was just all over us, just tackling wise, and we just couldn't get anything going. The number one player I'm actually a bit disappointed in. He's gotten a bit of praise from people tonight, but I'm a bit disappointed in Jeremy Cameron. I just think sometimes like he just a bit of a ball hog and just attempts and like just has unnecessary shots at goal sometimes instead of passing it off, and attempts to get in other players' way when someone else is going for a mark. Nathan Buckley, Meg.
which then Spartacus follows up with Chris saying, "Shut up, Bucks." Meg style. That's awesome.
It probably does. Probably is what happens, to be honest.
I need to watch some Family Guy again. It's been way too long.
Definitely. That I reckon it's definitely true from Spartacus there. I think Jeremy.
Just go to Tasmania already, dickhead. Just go to Tassie.
I just think sometimes he just gets in someone's way, like someone's way when someone else has gone for a mark. I even sort of.
I mean, he pinched one off Ollie Wiltshire last week, for example, on his quest for 10. He snuck in front. I don't mind that so much. It's more, I think, some of the decision making ball in hand from time to time that can be a bit like you were talking about the Greed thing. I've got no problem with Jezza getting the ball. If he has the ball 20 times in the game, we are winning most, like 99% of the time. Hell, probably even 15 times, then we're probably winning 99% of the time. But yeah, some of the decision making can be a bit wobbly at times, and like his ceiling is so high that I think he probably fairly reasonably assumes that if he's got the ball and if he's even slightly within range, then he's probably odds on to kick it. But the problem is that that's not always the case. So you can look kind of stupid, or you can, or because of that, you can torch some teammates that are in really good positions along the way.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even Brad Close, I don't know how he got himself back in the team.
Luck of the draw.
Sam DeConing better be injured. Like you better not. Do not play.
He will say before, like, he better be out next week just to.
Even if you're fit, you are not playing next week. We could clearly tell we were missing you tonight. I have no idea why a player is ever managed as a late change. Like, it's just silly. Like,
I'll give him the pass in the sense that, like, and I actually saw there was some commentary around late changes because I think who was it that swung one the other night? There was a club that swung one the other night, and then the conversation came up about late changes this year, and Geelong up until tonight hadn't swung a late change all season, and that was obviously something we were getting fairly known for. So, is what it is in that respect. I'll give the club a pass, but at the same time, I do hope that we find out, or we go back and watch the footage from last week and you're like, oh, there was a moment where Sam DeConing tweaked his ankle or something like that. Okay, I can see why he maybe missed. He was sore. Because right now, yeah, especially, you combine what Lachie was hearing from the boys on the way in, which just seemed like a little bit overconfident, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
You start to go, oh, I wonder if they just went in and thought this was just going to happen, and then they wandered back home, and it clearly didn't.
I'd very much like to think that wasn't the case. It was just, but I just didn't really notice anyone like have like show intensity tonight. Have a moment that got everyone up and about, and sort of builds the momentum. No one, not even that. No one even like attempted a moment like that, or could have a moment like that.
They suffocated us pretty well.
No one just could take the game. No one could just take the game on. We were just chip kicking it around backwards and just couldn't get it forward at all. In the third quarter, the ball was just living inside their 50. Like,
we couldn't get it out.
They kicked like 2 goals, 7 or something. We should have just lost by way more. It's just lucky we didn't. Like,
absolutely, yeah. No, I'd agree with that. It's kind of hard to think of too many, if any, positives really.
I hear
on the plus side, Tom Atkins has now reclaimed his spot at the top of the table for tackles this season.
Yeah,
overtaken James Rowbottom, Jack Steele, Tom Sparrow with 44, Willem Drew 43. So the top 5 have all played this week, and he's at least 11 ahead of whoever's 6th. So
yeah, I thought he was probably best on for us. Just effort around the board. I said about intensity, but sort of he was the one who would try.
I feel like if I was talking to Ethan right now, he'd actually probably be the one that I would give his Ethan's polished turd to, where like he's, you can't question the effort, but I didn't think it was an overly great game for Max. Couldn't find the ball. One of the things we do still measure him on, as well as tackles, of course, is the clearances. He got 1, I think it was in the end, if I remember. Where are we? Like Oisin Mullen led us for clearances on the night with 7.
Yeah, I saw that. It's actually like really good.
Where is he? I'm having a scroll, which is a bad sign. Yeah, one clearance for Tom Atkins. Mark Blitzarves had 1, and he played 11% game time. Like, it's not great. Brad Close had 1, and we want to drop that bastard. Sorry, bastard's a bit harsh. We want to drop that bloke at the moment. Like, I'm looking for something outrageous just to be like, this person got 1, but no, Brad Close is probably that person.
Brad Close,
no, Mark Blitzarves is that person because he basically didn't play. Mark Blitzarves is that guy. But so that, like, I thought I can't question his effort. The defensive pressure was great, but him, like many other guys there, could not get their hands on it themselves.
No one could. It's just Horn Francis was just getting every clearance and running away with it and go inside 50. And I thought the way we struggled defensively was just, I thought our contest defending was actually okay at times, sort of.
Yep.
O'Sullivan was intercepting, even
Sully was great.
Sully was great. Even I sort of like, we bagged Jack Henry a bit, but sort of even his contest work was actually a bit better than like one-on-one sort of stuff.
Yeah, when he mostly got done through through Leeds and through just not having the physical capacity to match it with Georgiades. Like he doesn't have the height, he doesn't have the strength, he doesn't have the speed. Like it wasn't a good matchup for him. His decision making was shithouse. Beyond that, I think some of his decision making is poor. I think if he stuck on Georgiades' shoulder rather than gave him space, I think that might have given him a bit more of a chance in a few of these. Because you're right, to your point, his actual one-on-one, like the contested work, I thought was solid enough. He didn't get shoved off the ball. He looked listless in some of those contests. Like he just had no idea where he was going, what he was doing, or how to play him. Whereas if he just bodied up, he probably would have been okay. So I don't know.
I've heard a few people come on and say about next week against North, saying, "Oh, we should win by 10 goals. We should win by 100." I just can't really see how you'd think that at the moment. Like, I don't think we definitely should. It's the
on paper thing. The on paper thing is we should still win by 10 goals, but I would agree through the on paper lens. The form thing is a whole other question though.
Yeah, we're still favourites and should definitely win. And if North Melbourne win tomorrow, even they're up against GWS, who aren't going as great, but if they win, that's probably their first sort of statement win of the year. So we're just got to see what happens. Honestly, I wouldn't even mind next week if it's just like a 3 to 5 goal win. To be honest, at least it's just the win and sort of just you're in control for most of the game. Hopefully, it's not like it's all close for 3 quarters and we kick like a few goals late sort of thing. Hopefully, it's just one where it's just you sort of dominate early and then it's sort of like all like level from there where we're probably ahead and you get like a 5-goal win. Like I'd just take.
Look, if they play a blinder and we win by a close margin, then I can tolerate it. But if Geelong just comes out with the right energy, then we should just probably win most quarters by 2 to 3 goals and just bit by bit pull away. And look, maybe there's some big point where there's a blowout and we suddenly pile on 5 in short time and the thing becomes ridiculous. But I would like to think that to beat North, we should be a 2-goal a quarter better team, at least.
Yeah, definitely. Just going back to tonight's game.
By the way, also shout out to Carlton who were down by like 40 odd points, end up losing by 14. They probably in the end, what did them in is there's probably a 15-ish minute block from the 18-minute mark. Actually the 24-minute mark of the third quarter to the 6-minute mark of the final quarter, where they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals kicked against them, and the game was done. But they then, what they do? Oh yeah, they had all those goals kicked super early, but they then kicked almost every goal from that point, and brought that margin right back in. So
I feel Carlton are nowhere near as bad as what they're made out to be honest.
Well, because they play good chunks of football. They just can't play 4 quarters.
It's just one sort of period in the game where the other team dominates, and that's how they lose.
Shadu says North gave Lions a scare. They did, but the Lions were the most depleted they've been all season in that particular matchup, players-wise. So that's why I haven't been giving them any sort of credit up to this point. A really severely depleted Brisbane team, and they pushed them for a long time, and then Brisbane got a few late and blew it out. But otherwise, they lost to West Coast.
Then, like Port Adelaide, they lost to West Coast, and
So who knows at this point?
So, yeah, exactly.
Have we got has the circle thing been done? Is that now? Surely that's got to be.
That's surely every team. Oh well, no, because Richmond haven't had a win. They need to.
Oh yeah, of course.
Need to do
every team has had a loss, but not every team has had a win. Come on, Tigers.
Going back on tonight, I think. I'm not sure if he's been mentioned yet. Probably has been on Twitter or online, but James Warple, it was just a really bad night for him.
Toss him out.
I I'd drop him for next week, to be honest, and I'd bring in a George Stevens. I don't know. There is a problem with.
Oh,
I think this
fuck.
problem
That Reece Stangus account. You mentioned Twitter and I flicked across to it for a second.
yeah.
That Reece Stangus account just gave me the fright of my life because he posted a graphic. It's Paddy Dangerfield. It's got retired underneath. I was like, holy shit.
Well, can't be for that.
For anyone who's not on Twitter, I'll quickly screen share it, and our screen will look really weird and awkward for a second, but it'll do whatever. Come on, boom. Yeah, it does look awkward for a second. Hang on, let me just group discussion that one. Oh, come back. There it is.
There we go.
Like that, I got. Oh my god! I just just out of nowhere, it caught me right off guard. Oh, it's still there. There we go. Come on, come back. This is why I don't like StreamYard, everyone.
We got it. But James Warple, he had a really bad night. Sort of did something a bit up forward late, but just a couple of really bad moments where the ball just went through him. Trying to pick it up, he couldn't pick it up. It was just a shocking night for him. And I said about sort of Nevitt before, when he can rack him up in the VFL, but his disposal efficiency is poor. I feel like the problem with him and so many other players, even like a Leo Lombard who plays at Gold Coast, Mateus Philippou at St Kilda, all those players they're all natural mids, but they can't play mid in their senior team. So their coaches try and make them as small forwards, and they're not.
Yeah.
And it's not for them.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's a big problem, and not like it's a big problem for the game. It's a problem for those players, like where you just can't crack into your team as in your natural position.
Yeah. Look, it's a midfielder's world. It's getting harder and harder for people, for non-mids to be able to hold a spot. We see it all the time with little things, of course, like the All-Australian, but that sort of way of thinking then permeates every other aspect of the game, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah, all Australian team just you're not quite good enough to be in the midfield, but we'll just chuck you in the forward line, like it's full forward, like there.
Yeah.
I just think as well, just midfield looked at like their worst tonight, I reckon.
Stu has a comment about Warple that we need to look at, apparently. Warple is equal third for centre clearance for the club this year, same as Max Holmes, and why didn't we put Warple in the gut? Seems like a dumb choice. You're right. I query the quality of some of the clearances that he's gotten. But at the same time, in the case of tonight, it would have been nice to have someone just getting their hands on the ball. So there is probably something to that. Like he could go and win it, even if he butchered it. It's a darn sight better than what most of our mids were doing tonight. So that's a fair one.
Yeah, mids were just all way off it tonight. So maybe except sort of Atkins, who actually put his head in and tried to grab, and Smith just running a bit. And I didn't think it was a poor night from him. I thought it was good as well.
Yeah, that's true. No, I'd agree with that. Is there anyone else that you wanted to highlight for reasons either good or bad?
Shannon O'Neill I thought was okay as well. I saw a few people who were like bagging him. I thought he wasn't too bad, to be honest.
I thought he was fine.
Yeah,
especially given the circumstances, especially had to go and pinch hit in the ruck a bit. Like he didn't get to play his role his way. I didn't mind it. And there was a very Hawkins-like ruck contest resulting in a snap goal thing, which I love to see. So
that was like our only inside 50 for the third quarter, which we got a goal from.
So I don't have too many concerns with this game tonight. The supply was awful. You can only the role of the key forward. Jez is such an outlier compared to most in the competition. The role of the key forward is totally determined by what's going on up the field, and if they're stinking it up as they did tonight, well, then your opportunities are pretty limited. He took the opportunities that came his way.
No, definitely, yeah, definitely didn't waste any opportunities, and when he had them, he took advantage of them.
Spoker says Warple was spotted before the game with Jason Dunstall and told him he will have info soon on the rivals for Master Mitchell.
That probably did happen. I wonder what Stewart and Butters were talking about pre-game in the.
I did like that photo that was snapped
in the centre square. It was a good one. Did anyone notice the quarterfinal?
The hoops will look good on you, mate.
Yeah.
Our midfield says they're going to be shitting it up tonight, so you might want to come over. We need your help. You don't want to join the Dogs. You're just going to do an ACL. Any of those comments will do.
Yep. You'll
just be perpetually injured at the Dogs, so don't worry about it.
Yep. I think as well. What was I going to say? It was sort of about. Yeah, O'Shane Mullins, 7 clearances. I just wonder. I didn't really notice sort of like, although I just handball sort of clearances, I didn't really notice like that sort of aspect.
I thought they were mostly by foot from memory, but yeah. I didn't. At the same time, I didn't. Well, in fact, yeah, because he's of his 20 disposals, it was 14. He's 14 disposals, I should say. 6 kicks, 8 handballs. So no, there must be at least a couple because there's more clearances than kicks.
I thought he was probably a bit better, sort of like defensively, to be honest, decepting. That's where I thought he was actually okay, a bit better than tagging, but yeah, all around just very disappointing night.
Off the back of Spudica's thing, Shadoo's then gone, so Warple's the one that's working with organised crime, not Tyson.
Organised crime.
Allegedly.
It's a bit, maybe Buck, you know how the Collingwood sort of, they say other people go into other clubs like and ruin them. Mick Malthouse did it with Carlton. Yeah. Could Graham Wright be doing that now at Carlton, and his Bucks doing it here?
I'm not making anything of the Bucks theory. The defenders were completely under siege tonight. Who's our midfield coach these days? Midfield coach is the one that's got to be in the game. It's
James Kelly.
Ops, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it must be.
Like he's the one I think with the questions tonight.
But
if we're right about mindset, then it's not like it's all down to the players.
I know Pop's a bit. My brother is friends with his son, so it's I can get the sort of gonna ask him what happened tonight. You can explain.
Time to go coach another club, mate. You're stinking it up for us. Get out of here. No. Warp at Geelong, Paul. Yeah, sorry, Shadoo. That one's not your best work. Let's get into it because we've still got a queue of another 2 people, and I was hoping to be done before midnight. I better grab a 3-2-1 from you.
All right, 3-2-1. I'm going to give my 3 votes to Connor O'Sullivan. Just thought in a bad night for the defence, he sort of did something.
He held
up. 2 votes to Tom Atkins. I thought you were clean. You not clean, but you had the intensity.
You had a crack.
Had a crack. That's what we like to see. I don't know.
And he was pretty clean. He operated at 86.7% disposal efficiency tonight.
I don't know. I'll give 1 vote to Tanner Bruin. Just he, had a good number of possessions. You had a really bad moment though, where you were open for the mark and you thought someone was going to collide with you, so you backed out and they got a goal. But I thought your ball.
Yeah, that was an ugly look, but
that was a bad moment. But I thought,
it probably typified the night. To be fair,
it really did. The Warple kick out on the full at the end really summed up the night as well.
Yeah, it was good. It was good fun for everyone.
And I'm going to do a 3-2-1 worst on.
Okay.
It was by far our worst loss of the year.
Salt.
1 bad vote, honestly. It goes to Brad Close. Just Brad, we really need to show us something, Bradley. 2 bad votes.
I'll give him 1 bit of credit. That mark at the very end on the goal, like on the goal line, was good.
Yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need. And the 1 clearance as well. That was.
Where did that come from?
It's too bad, but James Warple, just really bad night for James. We'll see what happens from here on in, but yeah, tonight was a shocker. And the 3 worst ons tonight, I am not going to give it to Patrick Dangerfield. I feel like it's a bit easy. The 3 worst votes is going to go.
You can't do it. He retired tonight, apparently.
He retired. Well, the 3 worst votes is going to go to Jeremy Cameron. Now you kick 3, but there was a couple of times where you just got in the way of players' moments and just stuff, and it actually annoyed me. That's the worst on tonight.
Fair enough. I mean, look, I won't agree with you, but I understand the rationale. So,
well, the worst on was Dangerfield, but I felt it was a bit too easy. But...
It's a cheap shot.
Yeah,
it's not all his fault. I honestly think that the strategy around it is completely screwing him over.
Oh yeah,
but anyway.
He should have been in the midfield more. Like, it was just.
Well, Ben, thank you for coming on board as always. Been a pleasure to chat, and hopefully, when we chat next week, we're doing it off the back of what we've discussed is going to be a 60 or 100 or maybe just a 2-goal win. But we're not accepting a loss. It seems like we're not accepting a loss as a possibility, which is a worry because we weren't considering a loss as a possibility this week.
If we lose, I'll jump on the emergency meeting, and we can maybe we could do that live with the jumper punch, just the emergency meeting.
just a dodgy collab.
Just bring out everyone for that show.
Just get them all in there, and they'll just start ripping.
Have just 20 people on it. Have all Discord members on it once, just discussing what happened after Cooper Trenbarth has kicked 6 on Jack Henry and something. Well,
Ben, thank you as always. We'll chat soon next week.
Thanks, Paul.
See you, mate. Yeah. Have a good one. All right. Next up. Looks like he's still in transit somehow. Kiri, you good? Let's bring him in. Oh, hang on. I need to hang on. Let me put you in the right layout. Let me bring him back. Where are you? Boom, boom. There he is.
Oh, fucking embarrassing, Paul.
Have you just been because we've been streaming for 2 hours and I've seen you popping in and out and been in transit most of the time. Are you just doing this? Are you just sadly wandering the streets?
Long story short, look, I'm still in the city because the trains have been cancelled due to a fault in the tracks. So
yeah, right.
I'm probably going to go catch an Uber home afterwards. But yeah, look, let's talk about the driver's
thoughts. Just get the Uber going now, and the driver can share his thoughts or her thoughts with us.
Oh, look, fucking what the fuck was that? I mean, I don't know if I said it on the show last week, but I said Port Adelaide was going to be a danger game, and why I said this. They gave Hawthorn a run for their money. They nearly got Hawthorn. This is a team that's not a pushover at the moment. And the 3 keys to beat Geelong this year: number 1, uncontested ball; number 2, uncontested marks; and number 3, the ground ball gets. This was just like a carbon copy of the Easter Monday game. You know, like. Mitch Georgiades was just playing like a prime Jack Gunston. We just gave him so much time and space. Jack Henry was like 5 meters off his man. Mitch Georgiades, he could have broke the game apart. He ended up kicking 3 goals 6, but my God.
4 goals 6.
4 goals 6, sorry, but the small and medium-sized forwards absolutely killed us. Where was the pressure? Where was the pressure from our players? It's the funny thing was we were only down by 13 points at halftime. I thought to myself, we could come back and win this if we're clever enough, but just not good enough. Just absolutely not good enough, Paul.
I've got the solution to our problem when it comes to the smalls. I've got a solution to our problem with the smalls. If you're keen to hear it. I need to, apparently I've still got Ben Harris in this layout. So hang on, let me flick him out and bring you back in. The solution is right here. Give me 1 sec. We're going to add something to the screen. This is our solution to the small forward problem. And we won't fucking play him.
What happened? What happened with Jed Buse? Has he murdered Chris
Roaming
Dodd
dropped the name. There we
Buse?
go. There's the solution right there. That's
What
all
happened?
it takes.
Why is he fallen out of favour? Absolute disgrace. I'm sorry. Like, you know, we saw that on grand final day. We saw that on the opening round against the Gold Coast. You know, I don't get it. And Zach Butters, Oshie Mullen was on him. He only had 3 disposals at quarter time. Where Chris Scott threw off the tag, all of a sudden Zach Butters was off the chain. What the fuck?
I mean, look, that I didn't, because we did that in the last quarter. I didn't mind that in the sense that we were clearly trying to roll the dice, change the momentum of it. We kind of had to be all in, right? Especially given that we were just putrid up to that point anyway. We couldn't get our hands on the ball. It's like, all right, let's take a defensively minded person out of there, because if we're going to win this thing, it's because everything fires in all cylinders. Problem is that the changes, like we took him off, and then whoever or whatever players we ultimately rolled through there contributed nothing. So
yeah,
I don't mind what we did, and obviously it's the risk you run when you drop the tag, right? We saw that in the grand final last year. We had to drop the tag on who was he? Was he on McCluggage in the grand final last year?
He was on.
Or was it?
He was on. As soon as he moved to the forward line, it was game over. Like,
yeah.
And then,
but it was kind of like, okay, we need the circuit breaker. We need to change it up here. Okay, we need to put someone aggressively minded.
The
let's
other
do
problem
it.
was Gordon Francis as well.
Yeah.
Like he was all over the shop, but what the hell, man? It's just like, you know, if this was the Geelong of old, we would at least get within 15 to 20 points. If that was the margin, I thought fair enough. We went for it. We did not go for it all. That fourth quarter, we completely gave up. Absolutely uncharacteristic from Geelong. It's you just don't see that. And I don't know if this has been said on the show, Paul, but Patrick Dangerfield, champion of the game. I think it's time. I think it's absolutely time. A few Port Adelaide fans behind me. Piss off. We still got the grand final over you.
Just shout out 119.
Patrick Dangerfield. I think we give him a farewell game and that's it. I really, really do. Like, he was shocking. One disposal. One disposal of one goal. Just there was one moment in the fourth quarter he was trying to go for the ball. His body just let him down. I think that turned to a Port goal at the end. I thought, nah. He can't go. He can't go on, Paul. I don't know. It's like we saw that with Tom Hawkins, we saw that with Mitch Duncan, and now we're seeing that with Dangerfield at the moment.
Because they have, like, the club is at no point given giving him a chance in the midfield again. Because they haven't done that, I am not with you just yet. Because I just think that we need to do, I think that is what we need to be doing with Danger. He needs to come in, Joel Selwood style, off the bench, 50% of game time, and just play the Dangerfield role that we know that he's capable of and that he's done for his entire career, save for the last 2 years. Because the delivery inside forward 50 was dog shit tonight. Like,
oh, it was shocking. Like, you know,
Jezza and Shannon Neal in particular they kicked 5 goals, and there was probably only 8 or 9 genuine opportunities tonight. Like, they took some golden opportunities when they were there. There wasn't many beyond that. So, I don't criticize. Part of it's the coach's box. Like, why, or if Danger's given the license as the captain to just make a move himself, then it's more leadership and decision making. I think it's like, why aren't we moving his magnet to the center and going, mate, go smash up that contest? Because we've seen, like, going to grand final day and the way he just obliterated Danger, Jezza, the way he played in that prelim final, He sees ball, he gets ball, and he bashes anyone who's in the way. And I still think he's capable of that.
The
we're not playing him that way.
seen it since the prelim. That's the problem, Paul. Like,
Well,
he had that Superman performance in the prelim, but grand final, missing in action. Fremantle, he struggled.
But I think part of that is also the fact that he's having to play as a forward, is that he's just not going to get that same level of opportunity to do that. And Memphis has jumped in. I think Memphis, might be the first time I've spotted you in the chat tonight, or maybe at all. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that name, but welcome aboard. Obviously, he may not stand to the intensity. I'm not asking for him to be there for a long time, though. Like 50% of game time means he's probably going to get benched still, a couple of times in the quarter. So he's going to go in for 6 minutes, have a pretty lengthy break, another 6 minutes, and you rinse and repeat that. Similar nature, and that's probably balanced with some time in the forward line as well. But I think that would work really, really well. But we just won't do it. And especially on nights like tonight, when the midfield is not doing anything, you go, let's try the bloke who won a Brownlow medal in that position, who, despite his form maybe not being amazing, has the physicality, has the body to just bash every single one of these blokes out of the way. Like Jason Horne-Francis is basically Danger 2.0, but Danger's still brushed him off plenty of times in still fairly recent history as well. Let's throw him in there and see what he can do for this midfield, but they won't do it. And that's the thing that's giving me the shits.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. But the other thing as well, speaking of the midfield, why didn't we change it up? Why didn't we throw Tanner Bruin in there? Why didn't we throw maybe a player like Sean Manor to get busy for 5-10 minutes at least? Like,
we didn't change anything. We didn't flip any magnets around. We did nothing tonight.
Just change it up. Josh Carr, he flipped the magnets after quarter time. Like, I think partly to do losing Blitzarves completely threw our structure away. Like, Mitch Edwards got thrown into the Wolves to do a lot of the rucking. Shannon Neal in there as well.
Geez, after that near miss with Shannon Neal's knee at the beginning of the year, I was shitting bricks when he was starting to take the ruck.
So was I.
I was like, oh no. And I get why it's not just a stupid decision this time, but oh my God, it's happening. And he got away unscathed, so we're good.
Oh, but it's just, and the team, the late change, I wasn't a fan of either. Like,
Oh, I've lost your audio, mate. Kiri, we've lost your audio.
Sorry about that.
There you go. Gotcha. We gotcha.
Sorry, that was that was my mum. I'll text her and all that.
Okay. The late change just made you so mad.
You're dropping it as a fit. Like, why could we bring Kolajasti in there?
Yeah. Like for like, or something like that.
Defender.
Yeah. Not a bloke who's been doing nothing all year. Brad Close must have photos of someone.
Oh, it's just, but Brad Close, he's going to be in next week. He's kicked a goal, no worries. Like, but James Warple, he has to be in the twos. And this is the thing against the big games, he doesn't show up. You wonder why Hawthorn were happy to get rid of him.
Yep.
Nah, I've seen Warple. He's a depth player, but starting in our midfield, nah, he's done. He was useless. Jack Bowes, shocking. Jack Henry, terrible.
Putrid.
Oh, it's just, Ollie Dempsey missing in action. What's happened to Dempsey as well? Like, he was thrown all over the place. He was up forward. He was on the wing, but he's having a down year as well. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I've
now lost track of who I was chatting to about Ollie Dempsey. I just think clubs have wisened up and they go, like, they can't have a midfielder that's going to try and play off him. They need to have a midfielder, like a defensively minded midfielder who's going to run with him. And then they can have their more aggressive, offensively minded wingman on the other side. And Ollie Dempsey is now just like players, like the opposition clubs are more accountable to him. And that's just making it a lot harder for him. And he gets off from time to time because he's a highly skilled player and he's going to take some opportunities that are there. He still, despite everything, operated at 100% of disposal efficiency tonight. But yeah, he's been blunted a bit, and it sucks.
Oh, maybe get him at half. Maybe get him at half back. Maybe throw Max Holmes where he's supposed to be in the midfield as well.
Yeah.
I was so many times. Why is Holmes at kick-ins? We know he's going to shake it on the full, and his kicking was absolutely off tonight as well. Like, just change it up for God's sakes. Like, Bailey Smith can't do it all by himself. Like, good God, if we didn't have Bailey Smith in this midfield, goodness gracious me.
Yeah, I know he's been holding up, and I've said it week after week now. Like, his defensive work has been pretty good as well. So
excellent.
Yeah, everyone else is just right off.
Oh, it's just it's just like just can't believe it. Like, it's you get these losses happen in football, but fuck me, that was absolutely atrocious, Paul. Absolutely.
Yeah,
we dished that up against North Melbourne,
and we'll have the same result. We'll have the same result.
Forget it. Then Collingwood at the MCG. Then we got Sydney back at Geelong. These next 3 to 4 weeks are going to determine our season.
Yeah. No, we need to come at next week the right way. Otherwise, yeah, we'll put ourselves in a real hole.
But yeah, it's good God. We got to fire up. We got to fire up next week. But I'll give you my 3-2 run.
Yeah, go for it.
3 votes I will give to Bailey Smith. Like I said, without him, it would have been a lot more worse. So much that he could do, but his defensive pressure was great as well. 2 votes I'll give to Tanner Bruin.
Yep.
Thought he was good as well. Got quite a bit of the ball. I just want to see him more on ball these days as well. And 1 vote I'm going to give to Connor O'Sullivan. I thought he hit up his hill high.
Sully was great.
Had some shaky moments, but I thought he was one of the better defenders tonight as well. And it's just funny, like some of our poor games, he's one of the bright sparks in the down back as well. When Stewart is down, when Zach Guthrie is down, Jack Henry, Connor O'Sullivan.
We're on the siege. He stepped up. He holds up the fort. I'm loving it. I'm loving what he's doing. You see that he's going to have that 10 plus 15, 10 to 15 years of just gun football ahead of him. It's so obvious. So 100%. He's a rock star.
100%. But anyways, Paul, I'll let you go. I'll try and
enjoy getting an Uber.
My way back home, and we go again next week against North Melbourne at the Cattery, and let's bounce back. And you know what? For a pass mark, we need a 4 or 5 goal win. Like, anything less than that, because we need to catch up on percentage as well. Like, given how
we've done ourselves some damage with this in the Gold Coast game.
Given how tight the Wog, the top 6 and to the top 10, percentage to catch up on. But anyways, Paul, thanks for having me on, and
all good,
we'll talk next week.
Thanks for coming in. I'll chat to you nice and soon.
See you, mate.
Safe trip back. All right. Next up, I don't know if he's there. The camera is now off. Thomas, if you're still there, I'm going to bring you on board, mate. There we go. Camera's on. Everything's on. I don't think Ben has set up a layout, but it's definitely not the first time you've been on, so I'm just going to have to throw up the group discussion layout. Thomas, how you going, mate? You were there tonight, weren't you?
Oh, look, my intersect trip record is not very good at the moment.
You're a curse.
The Gold Coast, and then
you're a curse.
Yeah. What the fuck was that? I never leave games early, and I decided fuck this. Sorry, language. I decided.
I don't care.
Yeah, I know. I decided that about. I think there was that run-in goal from one of their small forwards, and I was just like, no, I
Yeah,
can't do
Jace
this.
Burgoyne getting one. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. And I was just like, what are we doing? But there's no defensive. There was absolutely no defensive pressure. I feel like, as you said, Scott threw the magnets around in the wrong way. Like,
oh, okay. You think there was some magnets being thrown around? I didn't see the magnets being thrown around at all. I felt like they're just outside of moving Mullen off
off the
tag. I don't know what else they did.
That off. Why would you take your prime tagger off a player that's been kept to 3 disposals, and then let him go and get thrown off the chain, and then not put him back on? Where was it?
See, I've got no problem. Like they kind of dropped the tag for the last quarter there. Butters had 20, 21, 22, something like that. It was low 20s at that point. Mullen had done a fair bit positive on his end. And I think that was all part of a plan to be like, all right, well, we're not going to win this if we keep playing things the way that we are. So let's drop the tag. Let's bring someone else in who's going to, see ball, get ball, and be a bit more offensively minded than what Osh is, and try and win through attack. Problem is no one came in and did that.
Isn't like the exact reason we got James in? He was there for 2 centre bounce clearances, and that's it for the entire game. He was there for 2 centre bounce attendances.
Yeah, and that's
the last couple of weeks.
I don't know what
the one thing he was doing well is seeing ball, getting ball out the middle into our forward line. Why didn't he
do that tonight? Yeah,
do that tonight. The same with Danger. Like, obviously, enough has been said. 4 disposals, 3 of which were in junk time. In like the last 5 minutes of the game, what is going on there? Is he still carrying a calf or something? Like, is that why we're not throwing him in the middle at all this season? Are we just trying to?
But we didn't do it last year either. We didn't do it last year either. Like, I'm going to sound like a broken record because I've done it so much tonight. But and for the last 18 months. But to your point, like, he needs to go in and spend half a game off the bench and the other half going through the midfield, and you can go in there and do it in 6-ish minute blocks. Go in, have 6 minutes, bash and crash, go and win the contested ball, come rest of the bench. It's exactly what Joel Selwood did, and he did it to perfection. This doesn't need to change.
Pretty much. Well, that's like the benefit of also having no sub anymore and having 5 on the bench. You're allowed to have those, interchanges, and you're not actually risking, having that. Do we pull that sub? You get that 5 plays on the bench. Like, why aren't we doing that? It just makes no sense at all. It generally seems like a bunch of training codes would have played a better defense than we did tonight.
Yeah, and obviously, like, when we talk defense, we obviously, like, naturally we start to think about the defenders, but really it was the midfield. It was the whole half back line to half forward line and everything in between.
Mm-hmm. We play a full zone based defense.
Yep. Which
includes the midfield, includes our forward line. If our midfield is not pulling its weight, who cares how much Nathan I also make the Nathan Buckley jokes. I do that for my Collingwood friends, which is going to be not great in 2 weeks because I'm going for that 5 of my Collingwood mates. And I'm the only supporting going to that game. Out of our group, so that's going to be a fun one. That's not going to be a great game because I reckon Collingwood would play up because it's obviously Pendle's record breaker. But anyway, that's neither here or there. That's in 2 weeks.
Well, they've already said that Pendle's is going to have next week off. So,
okay, good. Okay, that makes me feel a bit better.
So his milestone won't be against us.
Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. Maybe we can play up for Tom Stewart because that's supposedly his 200th that game. Should be good.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Which would be good because it's a home game at the G. It'd be good to celebrate him. But like, I don't know. But we make the Bucks jokes, right? But I feel like in the start of the preseason, Buckley was supposed to be our midfield coach, and in some way towards the end of the preseason, it seems like they switched it and
He
made
became the
roles
defensive coach, yeah.
He became the defensive coach, and maybe there's an issue where it's not clicking, because if that is true and they switch midfield and defensive coaches towards the end of the preseason, there may be some friction there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm with you. Sorry, I'm pinning a few comments from the chat who are loving the curtains. I'm glad Horatio's in the background. We can talk all about curtains and blinds again. We'll bring Horatio in. We might have to accelerate bringing Horatio in just so we can talk about curtains again.
Yeah, maybe I'll hurry up because
maybe I just need to bring maybe it just needs to become the three of us. We'll all sit here and talk.
No, if you want to bring him in, go for it, mate.
All right, here we go. We're going to give the chat exactly what they want. Horatio, if you're ready to go,
let's bring him in.
I can see him talking off camera, but if Horatio's ready to go, then I'll bring him in and we'll talk blinds.
Yeah, bring him in. Yeah, let's do it.
I'll see if I can see him chatting at the moment. So he's talking about the blinds. I'll give him a sec because I can see he's conversing. But the chat is going to be delighted. We'll have everyone to talk about different. Here we go. Here he is. Horatio, I'm bringing you in.
Sorry, can you just turn the music down? Hello, Paul.
The chat is popping off about Thomas's curtains and blinds in the background, and
he's got me covered.
Thought it was the most appropriate time to segue you in as well.
Yeah, he's got me covered, mate. He's got me covered.
Oh, look, I'm very excited to fly back to Victoria tomorrow. I'm like, love this state.
You're a curse. You got to stop doing this.
What about your carpets, bro?
Do they match the drapes? No.
Does the collar match the cup?
It's hardwood, huh?
Oh no, there's hardwood and there's a rug down there.
Oh, there we go. The hardwood was just an easy joke.
I moved
curtains and drapes and all that. And,
I got it.
What are we drinking? What are we drinking there, bro?
I've got nothing tonight. Thomas, do you have
every
something
time
there,
I've had a bit of a spell, and but I feel like every time I've seen you do something in the last 3 weeks, Paul, you've had a mountain goat in your hand.
I picked up a 6-pack when I went away when I missed postgame live or whatever a few weeks back when I was where was I? Where'd I go?
When you were in Sydney?
When I was down by the coast. No, I missed the Paul James show for the Sydney. When I was down Lakes Entranceway. It's funny because it's just Horatio, that hardwood has nothing on me. Yeah.
Don't talk about my wood, mate.
Brought the 6-pack back with me and just whittled it away during some of our live streams. But I need to restock.
Well, I will just excuse myself. It's my missus' birthday today, so we've been having we've had a decent old session. I've been drinking this little beauty, this little chocolate Easter egg stout.
Yeah, right.
Very nice.
Good to hear.
Among other things.
For everyone.
But yeah, it's as it pans out, it was needed.
Yeah,
bloody.
And also, yeah, as Spartacus has also just dropped in the happy birthday to the better half.
Yes,
we'll just butt in and quickly answer should do. It was crystal clear. It was not muggy in Adelaide at all. It was a nice 27 degrees at its height today. So it was not sticky. The conditions were like the most perfect conditions to play football in. So it wasn't a conditions issue. Like the Gold Coast game, it was just muggy and slippery, and the conditions weren't. The conditions were fine here.
Perfect for football.
Yeah.
Are you over in Adelaide?
Yeah.
He travelled over.
Did you have the misfortune to waste your time going to that shit?
I left after Jace Burgoyne kicks that run-in goal, and it was just like, no, I'm done here, mate. I'm just done.
Like, oh my Lord. My attitude for the whole night was basically like, I could be watching like Moe was playing Traralgon and Anzac Day games, which I would have actually been at had it not been my missus' birthday, was about to go watch local footy when we had some celebrating to do. And then like the snooker world championships on as well. And I'm like, no, I'll put the game on. I got 3/4 of the way. Yeah, I got 2/3 of the way through. 3/4. It's like, well, why am I doing this? These guys are not putting any effort in. Why am I putting the effort in? I'm fucking turning this off. I'm gonna flick it over and watch the bloody Moe game. And I'll tell you what, Moe would have bloody beaten us tonight.
Oh, Thomas lost his picture for a sec. I'm sure he's still there, hopefully. We'll see if he comes back in a sec.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened.
Oh, there we go. And you're back. That was, I don't know. There's a good chunk of VFL teams that would have had our number tonight. And you're right, probably some local league teams might have pushed us a bit as well.
Well, to be fair, I'm not using hyperbole there. Like, we've got James Harms, 3 strikes James Harms playing for us this year. And we've got like a half dozen other guys that have been on AFL lists over the years playing this year. So we've got a pretty strong team. And, we were at least committed to the bloody pill and played like we actually cared about what was going on out there. We weren't playing matador defense and all of that sort of shit.
Yeah, there's not a lot to celebrate from tonight. Who can we celebrate? Who did both of you identify as being among the highlights from tonight before we either walked out of the ground or switched off?
Oh, probably, honestly, I know a lot of people said this, but Smith every single week this week seems like is the only one that's actually cared and tried to go after the ball.
Yeah.
And hasn't just like watched the ball go by them, has tried to chase after it, has laid those tackles, you know.
Yeah, I really feel like he's gone up another gear this year just because he's really improved his defensive element of his game. Obviously, his kick is still a bit wonky, and we'll end up criticising the disposal efficiency, the clangers, the turnovers, those sort of things from time to time. But like he's rounded himself out as a player so much this year. I'm stoked about the direction he's heading in. He fought. Yeah, he didn't execute everything tonight, but he fought. And I think if we had a few other blokes that were willing to fight like that, then it might have been a different result tonight. Especially given that they gave us plenty of opportunities to win the game. You know, having 30 shots and only kicking 13 goals.
Yeah, that was the most disappointing thing about it, is that they left the door open and we weren't good enough to get anywhere near it.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. Oh.
Yeah, I think if a few more people went like Bailey tonight, maybe a different story. I think it was all between the ears tonight. Injuries didn't help, like Blitz going down so early and the extra pressure that put on of still a fairly young player didn't help. But we've also been able to win premierships without having a dominant ruckman. So like, I don't want to lose too much. I don't want to link too much to that.
But also, we can't be relying on a guy that might be a year and a half out of half a season, maybe a full season out of retiring, right?
I'm loving the reaction from Horatio with the drink here. What's wrong with it, mate?
Oh my Lord, dude. We got my local brewery up here is Goodlands in Traralgon, and they brew a lot of fancy shit. And it's real hard to get, like, you know, before the coof, you could get all kinds of micro-brewed delights about the place. Now you've got a selection of about a half dozen breweries. But, they've done a collaboration. They've done a collaboration with O'Hara's Irish craft beer. It's called Nitro Baby. It's an Nitro Imperial Stout. And nitro basically means you could just tip it upside down and pour it straight into your glass. with coconut, vanilla, and almond. And I'm telling you, this is the best smelling beer I've smelled in a long, long time.
I think the chat is all very like Spartacus dubious about the facial reaction, so we're all keen to hear the report here once you have a sip of it.
Well, it probably needs to warm up just a fraction, but I'm going to have a sip.
Here we go. I shouldn't do that. I'll wake up the kids.
Ooh, that's good.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, wait till you smell this. Oh, this is incredible. Hey,
sorry, Torres.
It was $18 for one can, so it'd want to be good, and it is
good. Sorry, Thomas, we derailed that. Oh, he's curious. What was the brewery?
Goodlands in Traralgon. It's a collaboration they did with an Irish themed craft brew. It's called O'Hara. But yeah, they do a lot of really, really good stuff, and this is primo. Oh,
I'm quickly scrolling through their website at the moment.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up as well.
Sorry. Excuse me for a second. Is that Thomas we've got on the other? That's Thomas we got there?
Yeah, that's Thomas.
Yeah.
Thomas, how are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you? Regretting the trip up to Adelaide, but yeah,
dude,
I do love this state.
Dude, look, Adelaide is just. I'm telling you, Adelaide is just the best place to go and watch football. I love it. I love going over there. Like,
so good.
Like, I go over there, like when I've been over there, I haven't been over there for quite a while now because, kids and all that kind of thing. But when I used to go over there, like, we'd always seem to have, like, the late Sunday game. So I'd go over there on a Thursday night and just go around all the great micro breweries and pubs and stuff, get shit-faced, watch Sandful all weekend, and then go to our game on Sunday night and basically catch a bus hungover as a motherfucker to the airport and get the plane home and be at work on Monday.
Great though, it's just so localized.
And the thing is, they really, really love their footy over there. And I'm telling you, doesn't matter whether they're Crows or Port fans. Like, if you turn up at a Sandful game and they can, like, it's like going to WA. Like, the minute you open your mouth, they know you're Victorian. They can pick from your accent. They're like, "Oh, you're a Victorian, aren't you?" So what are you doing here? And I would say, you know what? I love local footy. I love coming to these games, and I love going to these grounds. And when I've been a big North Adelaide fan for years, since back in the 80s when, like, Andrew and Darren Jarman and all these sort of guys were playing for them, and Glenelg was beating us in grand finals. But yeah, so I go over there, and you start talking local footy to them, and they love you, and they love it. They love it. It's a great place for wine, great place for beer, great place for footy. Love it.
No, 100%, man, 100%. I was here for Gav around 2 weeks ago, and I'm back. I came back here 2 weeks and couldn't stay away.
Yeah, see, I've still barely done any time in SA. I went in for a games event a couple of years ago. That was the first time I'd been there, and I basically drove in, did the event, and then had to drive out. So I still really haven't, like, outside of kind of driving through the Adelaide Hills, which looked absolutely unreal. I haven't experienced any of it. So
no, it's great.
Seriously, I have a passion. I'm not as obsessed with footy now as I was when I was younger for a number of reasons. But, I remember when I was a kid and, you'd get like the Waffle finals and the Sandful finals on the telly.
You wouldn't miss any of it.
When I was a kid. And this is how, part of the reason I started following Geelong was because I was a South Fremantle for South Fremantle in the Waffle. Like, I was a South Fremantle fan before I was a Geelong fan because I saw Stephen Michael play it. I was like, how good is this bloke? This bloke is unbelievable. And then I heard we had him basically signed. He was ready to play. And then he came over here and it pissed rain for the whole week he was here. And he's like, what do I want to go over there for? Like, I can stay in Perth where I can have barbecues all year round and be with my family and stuff like that. I don't need to go over there and play that shit. So we never, there's a photo of him standing there in a Geelong jumper with Bob Davis, and I'm like, shit, we would have won. If he'd bloody play, if we'd actually signed him, we would have won those flags in 80 and 81. Like, he was an go and look up Stephen Michael highlights. If there's a guy from the last probably 30, 40 years of my time watching football that could have was just perfect for today's brand of football, he was the man. He was just a freak. 6'4", 6'5" guy. He could run like a gazelle, amazing leap, just huge tank and great reader of the play. He could win you a game from any position on the ground. He was just and I'm not using hyperbole when I say that. Like, he was just years ahead of his time as a footballer. That's how good he was. And the closest we ever had was him stand on the ground with Bob Davis wearing the Guernsey. Never played a game
Never
for
got
us.
any further than that.
We got Brian Peake. Make of that what you will.
It's all just a matter of perspective now.
But just people used to shit on Adelaide, and I'd never been there. And when I went over there, and the first time I think it was 2004 was the first time I went over there for a weekend, watching footy, doing some wineries, breweries, stuff like that. It's like I had a blast. I'm like, why do people rat on this town? It's just it's great. Like, and the minute you say, hey, yeah, I'm from Victoria, but man, I'm loving the culture here, man. That you're a local immediately, and they love it. They absolutely love it. It is just a great place to go. And I mean, and this is the thing. It's like, sorry. Well, I suppose we don't want to dwell too much more on tonight's debacle.
No, that's why these particular parts of post-game live close to midnight are the best ones, because we're usually a mile off topic and it doesn't matter.
Well, we can keep talking about curtains if you like, but I'm trying to keep it somewhat. I'm trying to keep it somewhat. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it somewhat football related. But like this is the thing, you get all these butthurt like South Australians and WA fans, VFL, it's still the VFL, la la la, and I'm like, look. You guys can still go down to your local ground on the weekend and watch your fucking team at your ground on the terraces like you used to 20, 30 years ago. We can't bloody do that anymore because most of the grounds have been bloody dug up.
Yeah.
Like half the freaking ground's not there anymore. Like, you can go down, that was one of the highlights for me. My Adelaide trip was going out to Prospect to watch North Adelaide playing at home, and stand at the can bar, and Barry Robran, the legend of the game, Barry Robran is in the fucking can bar serving cans. Where are you going to get that? You got to get that in Victoria, are you?
No,
you're not getting that in Victoria. You go to, I went over with, I toured a couple of mates of mine into coming over one year. It was 2011. Yeah, it was 2011. I said, man, we got to go to Adelaide. It's awesome, man. We'll just go over. We'll watch footy all weekend. We were sort of into, me and one of my mates. We were sort of under 18, sort of Teal Cup and all that sort of guys, and He wanted to come and check out a few blokes like Chad Wingard and all that. So we went and watched like 4 games of Sandford and then went to our game on the Sunday night. And I'm like, oh, this was awesome, man. So, you know, we did it. We did another trip after that because it was so much fun. Like it really was. You get to drink great beer, great wine, great footy. It's just awesome.
Yeah, it's footy everywhere you go. That's one of the coolest parts about, both SA and WA in terms of what they got available to them. Python's just jumped in saying, unfortunately, I get the context here because obviously we've just been pumping up Adelaide, but unfortunately I'll be in Adelaide from the 11th to the 13th of September for darts, which of course overlaps with the weekend in the midst of finals. Who knows? The Cats could be playing a final somewhere across that weekend, and he's going to miss it.
For darts.
For darts, yeah.
Oh, is he playing is that like there's like a national championship going on there, is there?
He said the locals in SA are full druggies. But Python, expand a little bit on that one. Like what sort of level of darts are you playing? So I'll wait for Python to respond to us there and clarify that one a little bit further. It probably should have twigged because darts is in it's Python darts in the name there, but well, it didn't.
Also, there probably will be a couple of finals over in Adelaide Oval because I'm pretty sure the G's aren't available because of the NFL game during those dates, from memory.
Yeah, I can't remember what they're doing. I can't remember what they're doing with that.
How much? Sorry to butt. How much did you end up getting your NFL ticket for, Thomas?
I got.
If you're willing to reveal that.
Yeah, $70. Oh, whatever retail was. I can tell you. Didn't spend anything more than the advertised price.
All right. That did you say 70?
Round that mark per ticket. So I got 2.
There you go. All right, semi-pro.
All right, that's not terrible.
Python is semi-pro darts.
Oh yeah, so he's not at Jason Whitlock level yet.
Yet is the key word.
Well, he'll know who I'm talking. He'll know who I'm talking about. The Wizard.
Yeah, I don't know enough about darts, but
I don't follow darts. Like I used to follow darts quite a bit, but it's kind of got a bit. They've the problem with darts, without going, is they've kind of leaned into the clickbaity side of things too much, I think. So I kind of drifted away from darts and focused more on the snooker.
So Simon Whitlock, he's a good mate of mine.
Yeah, Simon Whitlock. That's what Jason Whitlock's a bloody journo. No, Simon the Wizard. Great. And who was the can't remember who was the Indigenous fella? He was really good, but he had a bit of a thing and died a while ago now. He was bloody good too. What was his name?
Python. Hopefully you got an answer because I certainly don't have anything.
No, that's who I'm like. He'll know. I'm trying to think of his name. He was he was just starting.
Kyle Anderson.
Kyle Anderson. That's right. Yeah, he was. He was bloody good. He was just starting to come into his own, and he had a bit of an illness and unfortunately passed away. But he was a bloody good player. Yeah, no, he was really good. But yeah, I'm fortunate, Thomas, that the three times I went over to Adelaide for Geelong games, we won all of them. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. 3 of them we won. The last one I went over with my missus at the time, we got flogged. That wasn't a great day, but
no, look, my record. I was at the Gavaround game last year where that was that one where we couldn't really play in the first quarter and we just sort of kicked away for after half time, which was a good one. But yeah, today it just witches cones. Just seems like witches cones.
Yeah, there was no desire. There was no hunger.
Like, but the thing tonight was like we kicked the first couple of goals. I'm like, we're gonna fucking like. I was just like, we moved the ball so clear. We had 2 goals on the board in no time. And I was like, we're going to waste these guys. Like, we're going to absolutely smoke these blokes. But then they also thought, we're just going to waste these guys. And that was the end of it. Like, from that moment on, we never looked like it. And I'm just like, how the hell are we, like 20 minutes in the third quarter, like, not long before it turns, like, we're 3 goals down, and they've had, like, 3 times more scoring shots than us. Like, we should be 12 goals down at this point. We have played appalling football tonight. Like, how the hell are we still in any position to win this game? Like, and it was like, and I turned it off because, like, even though we were like 3 goals down, it's like,
no,
we are not going to win this game. Like this is just an absolutely appalling exhibition of football. Like, you know, when I was a kid growing up, and you're at the football and you learn how to mouth off and talk shit at the game, the 2 things you say is if you wanted to, abuse a bloke you thought was a bit soft, you just go, you're a fucking receiver and all this kind of thing, or, you'd yell at them, they don't want it. They don't want it.
The most highbrow comments, the low hanging fruit.
Yeah, there's other things I said when I was a kid that I'm not proud of, which I won't mention, but yeah, like, they were kind of the standard things. It's like, they don't want it. They don't want it. And I'm sitting there tonight thinking, we don't want it. We don't want it. Like, they were just they were visibly so much more desperate at the football tonight and just wanted it so much more. And I'm just wandering around like Brown's cows, just thinking,
it was just going to happen.
What are we doing? Like, we're playing like we just do not care, or like just, all of a sudden it's just all going to happen, and we're going to do the business here. It's like we're getting our pants pulled down by a side that is far more committed to winning this game of football than we are. And, like, it was going on in the coach's box as well. Like, the fact that there was no moves being made really outside of the Oisin Mullen, let's take him off the tag and try and throw an extra player at winning this thing, which didn't really work out either. There was just nothing. They didn't move any magnets around. They didn't try anything through those first 3 quarters. The problem with this, though, and I always, it comes back to the old Plan B argument. It's like, look, today the whole Plan B thing, it's a bit of a fallacy. It's like, that's just not, these things. It's just not how the games. It's just not really how the game's played anymore. No, it's not so much about Plan Bs. It's more about what's your circuit breaker. But like, the thing with games like tonight, though, is it wasn't really about tactics. It was about effort. Like, there was just no effort. There was no intensity. There was no pressure. Like, we just played like we thought it was all going to happen at some point all night, and they sensed it and said, we're going to show, these blokes just think it's all going to happen, that it's all just going to come together at some point, and we're going to show them that it's not. And if they kick straight, we would have lost by 12 goals. We should have lost by 12 goals. They let us off easy. Like halfway through the third quarter, I'm looking at it, it's like, how the hell are we 3 goals down here? Like, we could win this still. Yeah, like we don't deserve to win this, but we could still win this. We only got to play 20 minutes of good football. Like, we're still in a position. Yeah, exactly. We're still in a position to win this game, and we should be 12 goals down. Like, in that third quarter, for the first, did we even get it in our forward line once? Like,
Not that I no,
Third quarter?
sorry, we didn't.
we,
Because there was that Shannon
we
Neal
couldn't
goal.
even get it forward.
There was that one
Like
Shannon
that,
Neal goal.
what was
so-
you saying? In the second quarter, the ball lived in our defensive half 75% of the time, and then same in the third quarter, it was 70% in our defensive half again,
Yeah.
with only I think was 3 inside 50s in the third.
Oh,
It's just like,
look,
what are we doing?
like, that is a thumping. That is an absolute pantsing. And like, you know, I'm seeing people talking about Buckley and stuff like that. I'm like, is it him or is it the personnel? Like, there are 2 or 3 guys in that defense that have fallen off. They have fallen off. And it's kind of like I think the thing, like, defensively, people talking about Buckley. No, let's look at it. You've got old guys and young guys, right? You got older guys and inexperienced guys, and you know, Zach Guthrie's kind of in between.
Yep.
And you know, I might actually say that he possibly had his best game of the year tonight. I thought he actually sort of got involved. At least he got involved tonight. Like, he's been battling to do much of anything in most games this year, but he actually
he'd been really poor up until probably last week. Last week was the first game where you could see him getting back on track.
Yeah, but I like last week was an illusion, mate. Like, freaking half their side got fucking injured, man. Like,
but to be fair, like, for someone like him, it was like sorry, go
anybody who read anything into last week's game, like, you got rocks in your head. Like,
I think in the sense of, you know, like, players finding form, you can sometimes you just need that, regardless of the game's result. Sometimes you just need that. So I looked at that, and I think that kind of is what netted out, right? Like, he played a great game last week against an opposition that was falling apart, but then he's managed to take that and kind of bottle it and go with it the following week. So I think last week was probably the important one for Zach. But
let's be honest about the Bulldogs, though. They played 2 guys. They played 2 guys that weren't fit, and then they had 4, 5 injuries. You know, like. We should have flogged them. We should have flogged them. We should have flogged them.
And Lob. Yeah.
Like, O'Donnell went down. Libba went down. Darcy went down. There was one other. I think there was one other one that Bont got hurt. You know, and Ed Richards clearly wasn't fit. Norton wasn't fit. You know, like. They were basically playing with 2/3 of the side last week. So, you know, at home, in those circumstances, we should have flogged them, you know.
Absolutely.
So, and I don't want to, you know, it's not a hindsight thing. Like, I was saying this when watching the game. It's like, my God, these guys have just basically lost 1/3 of their side. Like, if we don't...
it became a walkover.
If we don't beat the living tar out of these blokes, like, and they didn't have, and you know, and they were missing their bet.
That third quarter in the Bulldogs game just looked a bit flaky on our half as well. There was the same issues. We couldn't really get it into our forward 50. Yeah,
exactly.
Against a seriously depleted team, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and this is the thing. Like, I'm sitting there watching it tonight in that first half, you know, before they really started to get on top. And I'm like, who the fuck do we think we are? Like, we're playing like millionaires here.
Yep.
Like, we are playing extremely lazy football right now. You know, we're not they are working a lot harder than us. They're getting numbers to the ball when it matters. They're getting in front. You know, they're playing like they care. They're playing like they want to win this game of football, and we're playing like we think
it
it's
never
just
mattered.
all.
Yeah.
It's all just going to
It's
happen.
going to happen.
And my God, if they kick straight that third quarter, like that was the worst quarter of football I have seen us play, if you can call it that, in years. Like, we just did not give a yelp.
Yeah, there was nothing. No. I'm kind of glad I was multitasking my way through most of the night, because it would have been pretty depressing to just sit and watch it.
Well,
Sorry, Tom.
same.
It's someone who sat there live and watched it. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, no,
Look, Adelaide Oval's always a good viewing experience for football, so I can't complain.
See, that's the one thing I will say. Like, that's what I was saying about going to Adelaide. At least if you go over there and you get a result like this, there's plenty of other things to do to make your weekend worthwhile. So,
yeah,
because like the last time I went over there was 2012, and I'd been like on a week and a half holiday with my missus at the time, and the Geelong game was the culmination of that. And I think it was actually I'm trying to think. Was it when we? I'm trying to remember. We got flogged. We got destroyed. Anyway, I'm just trying to remember whether it was whether Podsy was playing for the Crows where we sort of let him go over to the Crows for that year, and he had a bit of a day out against us. It might have been that game, but yeah, like I was like, thank God we had a really great week and a half before we got to this game, because this is and we had reserved seats, and we were sitting right in the middle of all the Crow supporters, and you reckon they were just coming down on
they would have
us.
been lapping up every second of it.
Oh man, they were letting us have it. But yeah, I mean, you know, I could take it with good humour, sort of.
Yeah, as much as you can.
But yeah, like I don't know, like the only thing I can say about tonight is that you hope that I don't know. I mean, look, you know, losing DK before the game, you know, lose a blitz early. That's, you know, that doesn't help. But you know, that doesn't excuse a complete lack of intensity and effort.
Yeah, the hunger just wasn't there.
And I think the other thing that I noticed is it's like, look, you know, I know you know today's footy is all about trying to, you know, it's all about trying to get the game on your terms and play your way and things like that. But it's like, if it's not, you know, if you're out of sorts, you've just got to do the percentage thing. You've just got to take that little bit of extra time to have a look. You've just got to care. You know, you've just got to put that little bit more care into your game. And we, like I say, you know, it's just that we just thought it was all going to happen, and it's like, no, it just, you know, in situations like tonight, no, it doesn't work like that. You've got to just take that little bit of extra care. You've just got to think about it that little bit more, and it didn't happen.
I'm curious because Lachie Miller's just popped into the chat and said, we deleted our full-time post on Instagram. Are we just getting ripped strips off of on social media? Like, Lachie, let me know. Get back to me. But I never got a chance to actually see the initial post in the first place, so I'm curious to what's actually going on If we've gone and ripped it down, it must be getting ugly out there.
Well, I mean, like the other,
and Python blames Catman for the loss, who's probably blaming Jane Bunn for the weather report. I think Horatio's maybe just dropped out for a second there as he's bouncing in and out of internet connection at home.
I also.
Oh no, there is. There he goes. He's back.
Sorry.
Like whatever
Sorry, Thomas, what'd you say?
Whatever the Geelong social media team did, I posted my reactions, like just a selfie of myself with the official post, and it's just purged itself from my story as well.
Right.
Which is very interesting. I'm not sure what they did.
So you went viral.
I don't know. I reposted the official scores on my story on Instagram, and the story's gone.
That's strange because like I'm looking at their story now, and like I can see the final scores in the story. But if there was a post, which Lachie's just saying, yeah, comments were absolutely flaming the club, but still you don't delete it. Bad look, soft as.
Yeah, 100%. No, that's
post with the final scores, I guess, has disappeared.
Oh, just before we go on, I just want to say, I hope Sarah's in there tonight. That's why I'm out here having a cigarette, because she said she likes to watch me go out and have a dart. So,
I have no idea. Like, we've had people coming in and out. It's been very active tonight. We've had lots of people floating in at different stages, both in the actual call, but also just in the chat. So.
Interesting. I do like your analysis on this kind of stuff, Horatio, but where do you see us at the moment? Because it just doesn't. I don't know where we sit. I generally feel like we haven't really shown up since the prelim.
Well, look, I think. I think the thing that. Like there's no excuse. Like there was a lack of effort tonight. Like their pressure was just outstanding for the whole 4 quarters. You know, maybe except for the first 3 minutes of the game when we slammed on a couple of, we slammed on those first couple of quick goals. But from that moment on, like their pressure they just exposed us all night. And even when, we kind of got something going, their intensity just shut us down. And, and I don't want to, look, I'm not going to start pointing fingers at players.
We've been doing it all.
You want me to point? Okay, I will point fingers. Like, okay, here's number one. Number one, and I say this because I've been pumping him up for weeks. He's had a couple of decent weeks. Like every time Jack Bowes touched the ball tonight, it was like, what the fuck are you doing, mate? Like, it just seemed to be a turnover. It's like, dude, I'm like, why are you not in the bloody in the AFL? You're too good for the VFL. Why are you not in the side? And then you watch it like it's like everything he did tonight was a fuck up.
Yeah, let me check those final numbers for him because he had a lot of the ball, which is part of the problem.
His disposal efficiency was at 68.
Right, but
not
like,
as bad as I thought. But yeah, but they weren't there was nothing really effective. He wasn't driving the ball forward. It was kind of contributing the ball being stuck in a bit of a loop or the ball getting buried in a contest. So I'd kind of agree.
Right,
and again, most of his time was in the defensive half as well.
You know what that's like. That's
five turnovers and 7 clangers. Just to build on that.
Right, but it's like it's obviously with Bailey Smith, right? The guy runs his ass off, and he ran his ass off tonight. But it's like if the intensity's not there, we're not getting in front, and sort of all of these things. It's like meters gained mean nothing because how many scores did they get off turnovers tonight? Right, because we weren't working hard enough forward of the ball. Like we just didn't work hard enough. So it's like guys like him and Max Holmes who are not necessarily great users of the football, but they're great at,
getting it and utilizing their speed.
But they're great at getting it. They're great at getting it forward, right? But you got to have the blokes forward of the ball that are working hard to get the pill, and we just didn't have that. We did not have that tonight. So when that happens, these guys get exposed. And look, if Thomas is like, well, where do you think we're at? I'll tell you where I think we're at. Like, we've got to make the hard call on some guys. Danger is heading the list. He's finished. Like, he has had it. Like,
I would like to see them try and play him in the midfield before I call that.
Yeah, that's my stance. Like, I want to see him in the midfield to have a crack there because, I mean, obviously he did what he did in that prelim last year, right? He shows the capacity still there, but the problem is I was banging on about it well before the prelim that I just didn't think the forward line experiment was the right one because of the damage it was doing to everyone else around him.
Right now, okay. So let's
see Joel Selwood style come on for a couple of blocks of 5 or 6 minutes every. Spartacus noticed me cleaning the ears out from over there. Great, thanks, mate.
Right. So yeah. Okay,
little blocks of 5 minutes, couple blocks of 5 minutes per quarter. Come in, bash a few blokes up in the midfield, go off and rest.
Right. So that is,
and if that doesn't work, then he's done for sure. Like if that didn't work, he's done.
That's the point. Like at the moment, I feel like no sub. We got 5 on the bench, and that 5th guy on the bench seems to be like your second ruckman. Right? It's like
kind of a little bit, yeah.
No. Let's like use, and people and clubs will start doing this more and more is, having that impact guy, like to just throw in for burst. Because I mean, this is the thing we started to see last year, and it bit us on the ass in the grand final. Like I said it, and I know a few other people said it as well last year. It's like, yeah, we love Danger attacking the football and stuff, but as a forward, he's spoiling other guys. He's getting in his attack on the footy is getting in the way of the leading forwards. Like he's clogging up space. He's sort of, when it comes off, it looks, when he's getting the pill, it looks great. But when he's not, he's actually hurting the team. And we started to see more of the latter as the season went on than the former. And then he had that great final. And then, of course, in the grand final, the key moment of that grand final was him doing what a lot of us were worried about. His attack of the pill broke Jez's arm, and, we basically fell apart after that.
Yeah, and, pretty much.
And this year, it's just you look at a guy, and look, and I'll tell you, this happened with Senior.
Keep going for a sec. Mozzie's starting to get me, so I'm just going to quickly spray up.
Once you lose, when you're that age, when you're 30, you're 34, 35, 36, you're getting towards the end of your career. Once you lose that continuity, you're screwed. You are screwed.
Mhm.
That is just the way that it goes. Once you start to get the little niggly injuries, or you get a suspension or whatever, and you lose the momentum,
And all
you're
like a whole
gone.
role change.
You are gone.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened with Danger. And I think, yeah, number one, yeah, I totally agree with, if we're going, like, he's the captain, we're gonna play him if he's fit. But yeah, his impact as a burst player, he's always had a monstrous impact as a burst player, but to use him the same way we used Joel Selwood in those last 2 or 3 years, to just come in and just hit the packs hard, change the course of the game, that's how it's got to be. Trying to use him any other way is counterproductive.
Yeah.
And part of the thing I saw, we brought Ollie Henry on, and he's been, after the, like,
The initial
I've
clip
had
that he got
people.
at the very beginning of the year, he's been pretty solid
Look,
since.
Look, the thing is, I've had people say, like Jake said, there's no soft players. He's not soft. It's like, no, he's soft. He ducks his head. He doesn't chase hard enough. He does, and we saw that multiple times in that Gold Coast game. Like, and then he came back in, and he was hungry, and he worked
He took
hard.
on board
And
all the
like in that
feedback
Hawthorn game, he could play. He turned it around. But then you see him tonight. We bring him on, and Danger's out there playing the role he should be playing, and he's trying to get into the game and trying to, make himself a useful player, or trying to make something happen. And it's like he's out of sorts because he's not really in a position where he could be effective. It's like, well, what's he supposed? In this situation, what's he supposed to do? Like.
Yep, it's been kind of the problem with him and a few others have faced for 18 months now.
You can't call him out for being soft, because there was at least a dozen players out there that were far fucking softer than him tonight. Like, just blokes not chasing, blokes not sticking tackles, stuff like that. Like,
yeah, 100%.
But like, this is the thing. So to fully answer Thomas's question from a few minutes ago, we're
adding Python in as well.
Where do I think we're at right now? I'll tell you where I think we're at.
Oh, I can't hear Horatio anymore.
Oh, I can.
I think
can't hear anyone anymore.
Good. It's all going to shit. Horatio, keep talking. I think you were still coming through Python. I don't think I heard you since you've joined though, so we'll test that audio. Not yet.
No, I think where we're at is that it's quite clear that we've got a few blokes that might be on the downside. And we could either make the hard calls and say, okay, these blokes aren't doing the job that we needed to do anymore, and look to the twos and give some other blokes a chance. Or we could
persist with what we're doing and
kid ourselves and persist that these guys are going to come good. And I don't think they're gonna. So I think if we can retool, and I think we've got the guys to retool, if we're prepared to give them the opportunity to freshen things up a bit, if we're prepared to take that risk, then I think we can bounce back. I don't. Do I think we're going to? No, I don't. But that's what we need to do. Look, I said it in the chat earlier. I don't know what you guys think. I'll put this out there. The glaring thing for me tonight, particularly without Brian out there, is that when you got guys, when your sort of main driving force guys in the guts are Tom Atkins, Bailey Smith, Max Holmes, and James Warple, you're in trouble. You know why? Because you've got a bunch of guys who can get the pill, and yeah, they're all high work rate guys, stuff like that, tough at the pill, all that kind of thing. But you know what? They're not creators.
They're not cream.
They're not initiated, right? What we need is a guy in the guts who can create, who can get the ball and do something with it, right? Not just gain meters. And, you know, now
Black butters.
I'm not saying that we have this type of player floating around, but I'm talking about a Greg Williams type, right? A guy that just gets the pill and knows how to get change running. And in today, the way footy's been played this year, where it's all about get it outside, move it quickly. You know, this is the thing. This is sort of football Geelong historically has always played. Fast, skillful, attacking football, right? This football that people want to play, that move the ball quickly, try to find the corridor stuff, that's Geelong football.
That's the DNA. Yeah, that's the DNA.
That is the way we've won flags. When we have had our golden eras, right, in the 30s, in the 50s, in, you know, 20 years, 15, 20 years ago, that is how we've won our flags, is by fast, skillful, attacking football with creative guys in the guts. And that is the number one thing that we do not have right now, is a genuinely creative player in the gut. Like even Grimes, not a midfielder. He's a half forward.
He moonlights in there, but that's about it.
Right. So, and that's who we're relying on to, you know, light the fire a lot of the time.
Yeah. And we need an alternative, because that bloke is one dodgy movement away from needing an ACL reconstruction.
Right. So here's my thing. I know we all love him, and I know the knock on him is that he is a step slow, but I think we've got to get Georgie in there, because the one thing that bloke is really fucking good at is creating by hand. Like, he gets the ball.
He's an extractor.
And he gets it. But look, okay. Let's look at Patrick Cripps with Carlton. That guy knows how to get it. And Sam Walsh is the same. These guys know how to get their hands on the pill. But are they creative guys? Do they set other guys up? No. This is what I said to the guys on the jumper punch. I'm like, you know what you guys' problem is? You got two of the best fucking extractors in the league, but you do not have anybody on the outside who knows how to get in. Like, I used to hang shit on Craig Bradley. right? That guy didn't see the bottom of the pack in 500 games of league football across 2 states, right? But let me tell you, that guy knew how to get into position to receive a hand pass and hit a leading forward on the tits with a perfect pass or kick a 50-metre goal himself, right? That is the sort of guy that we need. Now, I'm not saying we're necessarily going to get another Craig Bradley type because he's probably the best there's ever been at the receiving aspect of football.
Yeah.
Right. But we need a guy that can get the pill and set these other guys up. Right. Get good chains going.
Didn't I put together some video about getting Nick Dacos? That's the one. Easily done. Sure. It was basically just a bet from the chat one night, but we made it happen, and we really upset a lot of Collingwood supporters. It was a win for everyone.
Holy shit, man.
I think go for it, because you've got audio working now.
Yeah, I just realised my Go XR was muted.
Problem solved.
So, all right, so because we're going to the group thing, and you've just mentioned Nick Dacos, right? Let me ask the other lads let me ask all of you the question. How much would you be prepared to pay Nick Dacos to get him to Geelong, and how much of a difference do you think he would make to our side?
I have no idea, mate.
I mean, a huge difference, because he is exactly what you just described is the thing that's kind of missing.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. He's not the head over the contest, like ball extractor. He's not doesn't have that George Stevens part of it. But he is that polish. And there's enough of the blokes that can still extract it, get it to him, and then that's it. You're off to the races.
He's that 1-2 sort of linking player. Gets the ball and gets it where it needs to be.
Yeah.
It's basically his role in the Collingwood midfield.
Spartacus would sell his kidney for Nick. But yeah, go on, Thomas.
Money-wise, and this is probably at the most 1.2 a year. Because you've got to also remember we don't pay over the top for people, which is the issue. He won't want to come to Geelong because,
I mean,
he's a city boy.
It's Collingwood or Tassie for him anyway. I like the fun and games that I made with that video a few weeks back, but that was all a bit of a piss take anyway. Yeah, he won't, unless someone suddenly goes, all right, what, you thought the ceiling was 2 million? No, here's 2.5. Then all of a sudden maybe you get him thinking. But Geelong's not, of all clubs, Geelong's not going to be the club to offer that.
Correct. Yeah.
Don't know. He won't.
I don't think Baz is even on those numbers.
No, he's not. No, he's trying to negotiate to get.
Mil.
Yeah, he's sub 1 million. He's negotiating right now to push himself over.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't. And to be fair, that was the right call by the Cats to begin with, anyway, because there were risks associated with him when you brought him in, from his knee to just the mental health troubles that he'd been having, and whether he's actually going to be able to reestablish himself at the level. He did, and so rightly now he's going, all right, let's talk. So,
yeah.
Well, we got him when he was sort of what you would consider damaged goods.
Yeah, and he came good. Yeah. It's flipping everyone off and getting himself in controversies every other week. But we got him. Yeah, we fixed him up. Gave him a block.
Okay, so Nick Dacos is not realistic for us. What about what about Zach Butters? What are we prepared to do there? Because I can tell you, we could use that bloke.
Well, I'm telling you now, we won't be paying, 2 million for him.
What would you say, Python, is the limit?
We'll probably get him for probably 1.3, maybe. He'll definitely have to take a pay cut to come to us.
Well, I mean, he'll be getting a pay rise, but yeah, it's not as much as what you could get to go to the Dogs. Or
Port Adelaide will be taking a pay cut.
Richmond have apparently gone there and offered the 2 mil. So, he'd have to take a pay cut relative to most other offers you get. I could see us pushing as high as 1.5, 1.6 over.
I could see that.
I don't know, 7 years.
Yeah, 7.
Which is kind of the thing. I think
sounds right.
that might be the harder sticking point for the Cats is that I don't know if they want to make a contract that long.
Well, let me ask the question. If we were to get him in next year, could he be the difference between winning a flag and not?
That all comes down to the players' mentalities at the end of the day. If the players are willing to fight for that premiership, then why not? And
I think a few other key players around him, like if Jez is still firing as he was last year, and as we probably hoped that he would off the back of last week, I still think his 3 goals too is pretty solid, but there were weaknesses to his game tonight, as I've discussed with others. But if Jez is still going along as Jez does, if Shannon Neal continues to develop, if Sam De Koning, and sorry, I'm really thinking down the spine here, but if like those key position players, both in the defensive and forward halves, continue to develop, or in the case of Jezza, just hang in there, then honestly, I can't see why not. And that also includes Mitch Edwards, by the way, who's going to be the one serving it up to a lot of these guys. Then I would say, why not?
Just imagine a healthy Edwards with another preseason. He's looking good now. Yeah, another preseason under his belt at the senior level. Yeah.
And so many of our concerns center around Danger and the influence he has, and he'll be done, most likely. So some of our maybe structural concerns disappear. It sounds horrendous to be saying this about Danger, but like some of our issues might disappear with him retiring.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm just thinking more in terms of how close we think we could be to winning a flag, and
I'd say we're right there. Like we're easily, like you could make an easy argument for Geelong if he's in that team.
Right.
My big concern outside of that is, and I can't remember, maybe it was when I was with Kiri before that I was kind of throwing the name around. My concern right now is how we handle small forwards. We can, not that it really reared its head tonight. I think some of the smalls kicked a few goals. They benefited off a pretty lackluster night from Geelong. But when we go against those top teams, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Hawthorn, we're getting our asses kicked by them. Zach Bailey in the way he ripped us apart in the first half. Charlie Cameron when he got going in the second half. Nick Watson again when we played against Hawthorn. When we went to the Gold Coast, admittedly, again, it was a bad day for everyone, but like the way both Petrarca, who's not a small forward, but was kind of playing as a flanker, the way him and Bailey Humphrey cut us up. And it just happens time and time again. And that's why I go, why aren't we playing Jed Buse to deal with one of these blokes?
Exactly. And the thing is,
we're trying to play too tall.
Well,
honestly, I think if the Geelong coaching staff got their way and there was no injuries, I feel like we'd be going, let's see if we can make it work with Stewie, Henry, Kolajasny, Sam De Koning, and O'Sullivan. They go, holy shit, 5 of you, 5. And did I mention Stewart in there? I don't know if I did, but there you go. Like you're 5 or 6. But Zach Guthrie also tries to play fairly tall with his aerial capacities. And I feel like we're trying to play too tall because we've always had a good incept game. They're all good inceptors. But we try to play this totally incepting game and then just let the smalls rip us apart at ground level.
Right, and let's not bullshit around. Who usually ends up playing on these small forwards? Lawson. He can't defend one-on-one. He's a terrible one-on-one. He's a terrible one-on-one defender.
I think he'll get there, but he wants to be a running halfback.
No, that's the thing.
I think he'll get there, but he wants to play a different way.
I don't know that he will. Because I don't think he got out-bodied on several occasions tonight. And this is the thing. No slight on him. He tries to be a one-on-one defender. He just does not have the body strength to do it. he's there to be that rebounder, distributor, creator off halfback, right? And he's very good at it. And you saw it in that state game, in that last quarter when WA come back into it. When he's got license to just run and receive and create and hit targets.
That's when he comes into his own.
You can't stop him. He's unstoppable, right? But when he's got to be worrying about an opponent like I say, you saw it one-on-one on multiple occasions tonight. He just does not have the body strength to do it. And the thing is, you could say, okay, well, he'll bulk up, he'll learn, he'll do all, but then you can guarantee that in doing that, he's going to lose a little bit of the things that he's actually really good at. So this is my thing. It's like how many? Like we're technically playing like 5 talls in defence, right? It's like it's not like Jed Hughes is doing anything wrong in the twos.
No,
like he's averaging
every time he gets his opportunity, he steps up and he does a great job of it. I think Mark O'Connor's another one that could, but.
He's averaging 25, 30 bloody posies in the twos. Get him in there to deal with these blokes.
Yep.
I'd like to see Lawson being selected and played on a wing full time for a couple of games.
Yeah. Same.
Don't know why. I feel like he's the pole opposite to Dempsey. That Dempsey will try and get the forward goal square. Lawson will be the total opposite. Help to get the ball out of the defensive 50 and, link it up to the forward line.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think because Lawson reads the play really well going back, and Dempsey reads the play really well going forward. Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Well, and then that just, kind of what we create then is that defensive and offensive wingman that I was kind of talking about early on in terms of how teams seem to be structuring up to deal with Ollie Dempsey right now. They've got that defensively minded wingman that's trying to play off him, or not play off him, sorry, kind of almost play a half tagging role on him, try and attack when they get the opportunity, but be really accountable going the other way. That's kind of halting Ollie's momentum a little bit at the moment.
Would I be too far off the mark in saying that Lawson's got a bit of Andrew Mackie about him?
Doesn't sound like he's as big of a smart ass, but
no,
he's definitely not as lippy. But
as a player,
I don't like Mac. Mac did everything he could to not be involved in physical contact. I don't think Lawson's like that. He just may not have the capacity. I think he's got the willingness to compete at ground level and wrestle for the ball, but whether his body's up to it is a whole other story.
I'm thinking more about the thing with Andrew Mackie was a bit what I was saying about Craig Bradley. Like, he didn't need to get at the bottom of packs and be one of those because he had great anticipation and he was a great reader of the play and he knew how to get out on the end of things. And I see a lot of that, and I think with Lawson, I think he's a better ball user and distributor than Mackie. And I mean, he was very good at it. I mean, I remember when.
Oh, I think we lost him. Anyone want to share their thoughts on Mac versus Lawson Humphries? Or just even Lawson separate to a comparison?
I think Lawson Humphries is a good little player for us. He has been a pretty good player for us for the last couple of years. So, but yeah, as you said, I would like to see him on the wing for a couple of games, see how he goes there. If he does no good, then put him back.
That's fair.
But yeah, look, we got absolute fucking demolished in pretty much everything tonight. Disposals, pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So I like to see Catman's story that, you know, the better team should have won on his Instagram later. Just to call him a fucking flog again.
Working again. Yeah, that'll be good value if he. Oh yeah, I'll have to keep an eye on that. Start cooking up a last minute nuff for him.
But yeah, there's only so much you can say, but you have to start, you know, saying that the better team was sometimes the opposition. You know.
Yep.
You know, even if, regardless if you win or lose, you know, you can lose and still be the worst team on the day. You just kick straighter. You had enough points on the board.
More of these.
Look, we only got beat by 30 points. You know, that's not as bad as what people think it is.
Yeah.
It's only 5 goals.
I mean, it could have and should have been a lot worse, but yeah, you're right.
But it wasn't.
Yeah, you're right. No, it's the old
so we
bad
can say
kicking's
that
bad
we're lucky
football.
on that.
It could have been that story very easily, the bad kicking's bad football one. So
you know, how many times, well, we go back to the 08 grand final, unfortunately. You know, how many scoring shots did we have to Hawthorns?
I mean, if we subtract the ones that were rushed, like deliberately rushed, and that they changed the rule for, that probably skews things a little bit. But
a little bit, yeah. But look, yeah, I'm disappointed that we lost, but at the end of the day, it's just another game of football. We'll move on to next week.
Yeah, I think we'll back up and be all right. What I might do, because we're about to hit 1 a.m. and I've got to get up at 6 a.m. to deal with my kids. I'm probably going to start to wind this one down. But what I'd love to grab from everyone before we wrap this one up is a 3-2-1. There's not many to probably pump up from today, but I'm sure we can all find 3 players that are at least that we could celebrate for their efforts today. Anyone want to kick that one off?
Yeah, my 3-2-1. I'll give the 3 votes to Bailey Smith. Obviously, he's our best player on the ground right now. I'm just going off the sheet.
Yep.
So Bailey Smith with 3, Tom Stewart with 2, and Max Holmes with a 1.
Thomas?
Yeah, Smith for 3. I reckon O'Sullivan. Stewart with 2, O'Sullivan with 1.
Horatio, what do you got?
Yeah, I'd probably give Baz the 3. I'm giving O'Sheen 2, and I'll give O'Sullivan 1.
Yeah, nice. And mine will go into the blender for the hoopies, but I'd imagine my 3 will come from there. Actually, I haven't done my votes for the hoopies in about five weeks. I need to go back and put them all in, but certainly, I think one of the real highlights for me was Sully. I was really impressed by the way he carried himself, given that he was pretty well under siege most of the day. That holds a fair bit of weight with me. So,
yeah, and considering a lot of his buddies let him down.
And then we'll watch this space and see what happens with Sam DeConey going into next week, whether he's suddenly miraculously okay, and then we all curse the match committee for making him a late out.
Yeah, the funny thing is, North are ahead of us on the ladder, and we'll pump them by 12 goals next week and wonder what we were all worried about.
Exactly. And Spartacus has just dropped some votes in there as well, saying 3 votes to Thomas's Red Room, 2 votes to Horatio's Curtains, 1 to Python's Backdrop, and I get -1 for my timber walls. I'm in a shed, mate. Cut me some slack. There's insulation.
Seriously. Like
cold.
Now that you mention it, Spud, like people, like I come in and they're talking about Thomas's curtains. It's like, what about that wall? Look at that. Like that shit is angry, man. That is angry.
That's the typical South Australian wall right there.
I want to get back to my plain white walls back in Victoria. Anyway, who you reckon the ins or outs? Probably the last one. Who do you reckon the ins or outs would be for you guys? Because I think I would take Warple out. I would take, sadly, Jack Henry out for for a back for
Warple's close to
SDK.
subs.
I want
And then
Jed
close.
Beers in. I want Jed in,
Yeah.
and I want George. I want George Stevens to have a crack.
Yeah.
Because we need a creative midfielder in there, and he has been a maestro so far this year in the guts in the VFL. So I want to see him come in and see what he could do, because we really are lacking in that department.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
With Edwards with a potential finger injury as well, he might have to have a week off. So who do we replace him if he does have that week off?
Reece Stanley's gone. This is my chance. I'm back, fuckers.
Premiership
I'm
ruckman.
going back and I'm going to drop $80.
So do we get Conway back in for another spell, or?
His body, I don't think he's available still. That no one would ever know, because they've got him TBC for the injury and TBC for the timeline. So
No,
What about
we
Pilkington?
re-signed
All
him
short
last
for
year. You know,
Toby
just
bloody
chuck him for a
Conway.
game and we won't see him again for a season and a half.
yeah,
Yeah, true.
just wrap him.
Unless we make the grand
like-
final again, he comes back for that and costs us another flag.
That's good. Yeah, for me, I've got obviously Blitz will come out, but Brad Close and Warple, I think will be my.
I just want to say I didn't think Closey was that bad tonight, considering the state of the rest of the side. He wasn't our worst tonight by a long shot.
Yeah, his shit wasn't as bad as everyone, compared to everyone else, relative to everyone else this time. But
but I
we're
personally would bring
again-
Will Shearer in for him. I liked his up the ground connectivity work a bit better than Close tonight, and Close all season. for that matter.
The only thing, the thing with Closey is that the thing with Closey tonight was that, like, every time I saw him get that ball, like, and as I maintain and I keep saying, we're playing him too far up the fucking ground. But when he got it up the ground, when he got it up the ground tonight, it wasn't like, I thought he's putting good kicks in there, and our blokes aren't working hard enough. We're not getting in front. We're not working hard enough to get on the end of these.
no, that's fair. I don't think that helped him out. Like he laced Jezza out with one really nicely early on, and that was the one Jezza sunk from kind of the 45 out from kind of the pocket.
that one in the first quarter.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And I looked at that, I was like, great, more of that. That's awesome.
After that, everything else he did, it's like, mate, he's trying to put it where the blokes are supposed to be, and they're not there. Like, so I'm gonna. It's easy to bag small forwards when your team has a stinker. They're some of the first guys to get it. I thought he had a genuine crack tonight. Was a bit stiff on a couple of occasions, and I think, like, our delivery for the most part was shite all over the ground.
Yeah.
But I thought his delivery was all right, and our guys didn't work hard enough to get on the end of it. If I could say that.
Yeah. No, there's definitely merit to that too.
And just without wanting to rabbit on too much, like, I would like to make a comment on Warple. Like, I don't understand why we signed him in the first place. Like, we like, what did he add? What was he going to add to us that we really needed?
I think.
Right. Now, this is not to say that I don't think he's any good as a footballer.
No, he's definitely an AFL level player.
He's got
maybe not.
He's got his limitations as a player, but it's like we have never, like, going back to when we were winning flags, like, clearances have never been our thing. So why, when we've already got sort of Bailey Smith and Max Holmes, who are not great users of the football, they're meters gain guys. Why are we getting and Bailey Smith is getting better, has really gone to another level in sort of the clearance stakes and stuff. It's like, why are we signing a bloke that doesn't really add anything to what we're doing? He's not a great, we need a user. We need if anything, we need a receiver. We don't need a clearance guy. We need a guy that can get on the outside and really fucking hit blokes on the tit with a great pass.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like, I don't know why we fucking signed him, because we don't need him.
Yeah, Spartacus suggests that we wanted to tell Hawthorn he wants us more than you, and that's about it. And then the joke's on us that he's actually a spy.
He may well be. He may well be right. Like, oh, he's a local bloke, he's a local guy and all that. But it's like, he doesn't add. He wasn't our worst player tonight. He had a genuine crack, but he doesn't add he does not add anything to our team. That's why he struggled to get back into the team after he got hurt in the first round. That's why he struggled to get back in the team, because he doesn't really add anything that we need to the team. He's basically we paid a lot of money for a depth. He's essentially a depth guy.
That's all we did. And I think that was the rationale, to be fair.
I would say a high quality depth guy, but why sign him when and he'd be on decent coin, even if he's taking less than what he could have got at Hawthorn to stay there. It's like, why are we signing him when we don't he's gonna be in and out of the side all year. There is no question about it. Why are we signing him on probably something that's looking at probably $700,000-800,000 a year, when we could just throw the bloody house at Zach Butters next year? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Plenty for us to all ponder on. I might wrap things up there, though, guys. Thank you all for having jumped in. Thanks for sharing the votes. Definitely have to get some of get you all back on again next week, and we'll pace it all, and we'll try and make sure that everyone gets a bit of air to breathe. But it's been awesome to have you all on board.
Guys, one question before we go. Are we going to beat North next week or what?
Yeah.
Good
20
champ.
goals.
Easy.
That's what I like to hear. Come on, the Cats.
Yeah, I had 10 plus. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one. I'll see you later.
Cheers for 13.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, bye.
Cheers for 13.
Yeah, cheers for 13. Yeah, that's good. Right.
13.
But he's gonna get the anyway, have a good night.
See you, mate. All right. Thank you, everyone, for having tuned in tonight. We have nearly pushed the 4-hour mark. In fact, probably by the time the song finishes, we'll be basically at the 4-hour mark. It's been an absolute pleasure to get to chat to all of you again. Yes, we went down by 30 points, but it's always a good bit of fun to debrief with all of you. And I expect it to be done by midnight. Here we are at 1:10 in the morning, and we're only now finishing. I'm not going to go play PlayStation like I'd planned. I'm going to go get some sleep. So thank you all for having tuned in. If you like this video, drop a like on it. Subscribe to the Hoops Crew on YouTube. Share with your friends and family. Get the word out there about the Hoops Crew and all of the awesome content that we're producing. Myself, Ben, and the chaps are pumping out a lot of it. So please, again, subscribe, go check it out. If you like it, go check out our Patreon as well. That is patreon.com/thehoopscrew, where you can get early access, extended, and exclusive content delivered directly to your email inbox. There's lots of it. We hope that you enjoy it, and it costs you only a single cup of coffee per month to get access to all of it. You'll find me on socials. That's Paul James Games on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Instagram. The Hoops Crew, you'll find at the Hoops Crew. Until next time, Cats went down by 30. Stay tuned for my reaction video tomorrow morning sometime once I wake up. Remain Geelong strong, everyone, and I'll see you later.
working on the knobs. The man don't miss, he loves to react. His words cut deep, he's a counter-attack. Balls on fire, brings the mic to life. Don't fuck with B-Dog if you value your life. Oh, they fuck shit up, yeah, they run G-Town. The Hoops crew's here and they'll never back down. Jake, Tommy, Sambo, always rocking the game. Betty and Paul, man, remember the names. In the studio, Jake's bringing the noise. With Johnny and Sambo, the chaps chat boys, they're electric and they're ready to roll. The boys are on fire and they're taking control. Recaps and previews, yeah, they cover it all. Part of the Hoops crew with Betty and Paul. They fuck shit up, yeah, they run G-Town. The Hoops crew, baby, they'll never back down. Jake, Johnny, Sambo, always rocking the game. Betty and Paul, chasing glory and fame. Brad with the sleeves, Max Holmes and Jack Bowes. Tommy fucking Atkins, he'll break your damn nose. Stewie in the middle, and Reese in the ruck. They see Big Jezza and they know they're fucked. They're the G-Town boys, go hard or go home. They're fucking insane, taking over the throne. Oh, they fuck shit up, yeah, they run G-Town. The Hoops crew